Mm.
You are looking live at
The Dub is 3, 2. One for the money, two for the show, three get ready, four to let go. Talking that talk is all that we don't. It's football time, we ready to roll. We bringing the coaches close to the fans, answering questions not from the stands. D1 players with offers in hand, from DF Dubs, the best of the land. Hey, six be coming to play like eight, five be coming to play like eight, 4 and 3 be coming like eight. Private schools be making it eight, cool in the game, Bad and Brian doing our thing. Weird and Jeremy ready to swing. Oh, I forgot it's a card to thing. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub.
Welcome to the Dub, number one high school podcast starring Matt O'Teasy, Jeremy McGinnis, Whitfield Roderick, and Brian Bosler.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We here. It's Sunday night. We done made it in over a weekend of football. What's going on, Coach Carl? You can't hear me? Man, it is crazy how we go through this all the time. We just been talking for the last 20 minutes, and as soon as we go on stream, it's issues. Anyway, we ain't gonna worry about it. I'm gonna play this my man Swaggy on the he went to the Carter game and did a couple interviews. I'm gonna play that and see if we can get Coach Carr back in by the time that come through.
I'm live here at Carter High School where Carter just defeated Pinkston 32-7. I'm here with the winning coach, Spencer Gilbert, Dallas Carter. Coach Gilbert, coming off a bye in this game tonight, how did it feel getting this win tonight?
Man, it always feels good to get a win. I think we got a lot of things we got to clean up in the discipline arena. That's way too many penalties. They kind of cost us. But we still a pretty good team. We got some injuries that I'm worried about now. So we got to nurse some guys back to help. I think we'll be ready to go next Thursday.
Your running back, Caden Landry, finished with 259 yards rushing off of 29 carries. Tell me how special this kid is.
Caden is one of those special kids. He works hard. He's the first one there, last one to leave every day. He's a leader in the weight room. He never takes no days off, and that's the thing that's special about him. He's a hard worker.
You guys now improved to 4-1 on the season, 1-0 in District 7-4A. Up next, you have Frisco Panther Creek. This has been Coach Gilbert from Dallas Carter High School. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
The Dub reporting live from Carter High School, where Carter just defeated Pinkston 32-7. Player of the game here is Caden Landry, Carter's running back, who finished with 259 yards rushing out 29 carries. Mr. Landry, how you feel tonight, man?
Feel good. We got the W.
Got the W?
Yeah.
259 yards rushing off of 29 carries, man. Hey, that's impressive. So going forward, you guys just won this game. You 4-1 now. 1-0 in district, like I told Coach earlier. You got Frisco Panther Creek coming up next. Anything you want to say?
We're going to keep going as far as we can. You know.
Hey, this man not a man of few words, but hey, he's a man on that field. This is Brent Portman live from the Dub, Caden Landry. Thank you. I'm live here at Carter House.
Yeah, man. That was pretty dope, man. Carter seemed like they can beat all the Dallas teams pretty easy. Can you hear me now, Will? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? I hear you. Where your earphones at?
I'm gonna change things.
Man, it's crazy, boy. This Sunday right here is going to hell. We've been talking for a minute right here on the stream, and now all of a sudden it start acting up. I got the homie coach. There go coach. What up,
Hey, what's
coach?
going on, man? What's going on with it?
Man, I don't know, man. I thought I was for being here doing the show by myself.
No, man, I had to get home from this event, man, so I had to make sure everything was straight. How y'all doing,
Man. Coach Carr, he having difficulties. Hopefully he can come on. If not, I got someone to talk to. It seems like the rest of my dub members, they superstars now. They too big. You know what I'm saying? They superstars now. Everybody too big to be old now. So
yeah, you know how I go.
yeah, it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? If you run up there too high, too fast, though, that fall could be kind of far. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all I can tell you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You forget how you got there, then that fall gonna come.
Right.
Can you hear me now, Big Will?
Man, I can hear you now, B. Can
There
you
he
hear me?
is. There he
All
is.
right. Yeah, we good. It's this Cricket Wi-Fi. Shout out to Cricket.
Hey, it's okay, man. Hey, cricket need love too. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, but I got my man Mark Arrows, man. Hey, man, go on and tell everybody about you. You know what I'm saying? What you doing? I know your son a freshman at Cedar Hill, but just tell
Yeah.
everybody where you coaching from and what you got going on, coach.
Yeah. Son of freshman at Cedar Hill, running back and linebacker. And I coach at the Covenant School over there in Dallas, out there in North Dallas. So we're in TAPS. So shout out to y'all for showing some love to TAPS schools, man, tonight. So but yeah, man, play schools like Dallas Christian. We didn't play Bishop Dunn this year. We played who do we play? City Hill Newman. We played them a couple of years ago. Just seems like that, just out of tap schools. Newman not taps anymore, which I get what I'm saying. So yeah, man.
Right.
Just I coach
Y'all in the
receivers
big
and
division or the
linebackers.
small one?
Huh?
So are y'all on the big school or the big tap division 1 or division 2?
We in TAPS Division 2.
Okay.
4A Division 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all be facing like Dallas Christian.
Yeah,
And,
Dallas Christian. We got Dallas Christian this week. Yeah, I coach linebackers and receivers, and I'm assistant OC.
okay.
Yeah.
So how y'all doing, man? I know y'all been smoking people out here lately. I've been seeing
Man,
all these scores.
hey man, it's been a ride, man. It's been a ride. We I should have pulled these stats up. My our DC, I told him to hop on because he's a statistician, man, so he can tell you everything. But yeah, we've probably, I can't remember exactly how many points, but we've probably only given up maybe, I have to estimate, maybe 40 some points so far out of 5 games. So man, we playing that, the boys playing lights out, man. We had, I think, but 22 kids come back this year from the squad from last year. So man, these kids grew up, so we just kind of figuring it out every week.
Man, that's dope, man. That's good, man. I know y'all got a big showdown coming with Dallas Christian, right?
Man, yeah, and they gonna be pissed because they lost against Fort Worth Christian on Friday, so they coming in to get an understanding. So that they're a well coached team. They got a really good running back. He's a transfer from Rockwall, Hernandez.
Right.
He's really nice. Then they have a receiver, a D1 guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he's number 3. Really nice guy. Quarterback is good. Big O line, big D line. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a showdown for sure.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Hey, so, Coach, man, tell me about it, man. Like, what's the biggest difference between TAPS and I guess what UIL 5A 6A? Obviously, the size of the school, I get that. But if you look at a school like a modern day in California, Bosco, St. Francis, what is stopping the Covenant for being that school? And is that something that you're aspiring to be, or what's going on with that?
Actually, one of the things is I get asked it all the time. Of course, coaching opportunities come from different levels, even college, early entry college levels and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm called to this level of coaching right here of TAPS and private schools, because you get a lot of kids that's kind of looked over. You know what I'm saying? So what's separating us is obviously the numbers. And then you got a team like a juggernaut like a DeSoto, Cedar Hill, that's probably have about 22 D1 commits. We probably have 2. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is probably gonna go Division 2, Division 3. So that's kind of how it goes. Depending on what school you have, you may have about 5 or something like that in TAPS. But
is Coach Carter your DC? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is Coach Carter your DC?
Yeah, that's the DC.
Okay.
That's the man with the plan.
Okay, he here.
But yeah, man, that's really kind of what separates us, is just pretty much the numbers. We have the guys that'll probably be like the second and third string guys that'll be at like a DeSoto or something like that, if that kind of makes
sense. I'm gonna ask this question another way. What's stopping you from being a modern day or a St. Francis here right now today?
Oh, probably
huh?
Tuition, probably.
Yeah, I'll say that.
We don't have a big influx of transfer kids who come in and want to pay. It's like $18,000 a year to go there. I think that's what do with it.
Yeah.
You got a lot of private schools in Dallas and that one North Dallas area. Kind of more than what I thought. I didn't even know it was like that many private schools. Just
that's a lot. It's a lot.
That right there, that's some over time. I think that's within over the past 30 years. So private schools grew like that in that Dallas area. So that's what has a lot to do with it too. The tuition, transferring in or whatnot. It's just it is what it is. When people start up a school that's only been around less than 30 years. So
yeah, that's one thing I always kind of wondered about the private schools was when I came up, it was private school was pretty much kids that they either couldn't play at the big public schools, or the ones that were just kind of like family, probably had some kind of alumni, some kind of connection to like Bishop Dunn's and things like that. And then we had a little period to where like the Bishop Dunn's and the Bishop Lynch and what's the one up north in Plano,
Prestonwood.
Yeah.
Prestonwood, and hell, even JP had it for a little bit, and then you also had the Fort Worth where they was getting all the big time kids. But it seemed like now it kind of went back down.
I mean, a lot of it probably got to, a lot of people looking at kind of what a lot of other states doing, because if you think about it, some people can play their freshman, sophomore year for a TAP school, become a big recruit, and then they transfer to, a 5A or a 6A. And then sometimes it's vice versa. A 6A, 5A kid, do some play his freshman or sophomore year at that school, and then he transfers private and becomes a bigger recruit because he plays more, got more film. So
yeah, and the thing with St. Francis and Mater Dei and all them, those guys recruit and give scholarships, and that's their football, they're sports driven. You know what I'm saying? IMG, all those guys, they're sports driven, so that really kind of keeps us, that type of situation. Like that's what separates a lot of the schools like this.
A lot of private schools just ran like a mini college, I think. You want the athletic program. Of course, football drives the fall season, but the money, the booster club, everything that keeps the football program going, they're not necessarily, especially with it being a classical Christian school, they're not necessarily trying to be a modern day, you know, if that makes sense. They are
Right. It doesn't like
yeah,
it's not important, right? Like it's just something
yeah,
that we do.
yeah,
So we just gonna do it because our kids want to do it. But
yeah,
that's not our main mission.
yeah. But
Right,
of
right.
course it's
Okay.
Texas, so the dads are still, you know, everybody want their kid in football in Texas. So you still get that. It's the you draw a line like, yeah, I still want you to go out there and go hard too, son. You know, so
Yeah,
yeah, don't just lay down now. So, but
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah,
so what would you say, man? Like for a kid who is like if you selling a program today and the kid out there parent is watching this and saying, man, I want my kid to go pay for them, or what is your pitch to a parent who wants their kid to get the proper exposure? Because let's be honest, like you have in schools like um, Episcopal who are beating 5A and 6A teams. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So you have schools like Bishop Dunn who is beating the Skyline. You know what I mean? So it's not out of the question that can they do it.
Mhm.
It's what is it going to be required from you guys, and what kind of kid are you looking for to help you achieve that for your program?
Right, and it's a lot of times who runs the program. Me and Coach Carter, we both know some of these guys out here that run programs like during the summer that's doing workouts and stuff like that, and then they get those kids to filter in no matter what level they are,
yeah,
D1, D2, whatever. So they build their program like that, you know. So it just depends on various factors how you build your program and who the head coach is, you know, stuff like that, who hangs around the school, you know, because some of the schools we just played a school where the one of the coaches was the NFL. What school? It was one of the schools we played. It was the head coach was a old quarterback, recent quarterback from the NFL, and then we
oh
played.
yeah, green,
Shelton has a guy that used to play for Green Bay, you know. So we play schools that, you know, and the people, you know, they flock there because it's like, oh, these guys played in the league. We got a guy on our squad that played 3 or 4 years in the league as well, and all that. So, that type of thing kind of stands out as well. So, just
Right.
depends.
I got the homie Courtney. Courtney up in here, man. What happened, Courtney? You want to ask the brothers from Dallas Covenant anything?
He on mute.
You on mute?
Oh, here I go.
Oh, okay.
I said,
Oh,
what's up?
what's up, Courtney? That's my dog, man.
Yeah, my coach Mark, my boy, man.
But yeah,
I do got a question for y'all guys though.
go ahead.
I'm just be candid with it. Do you guys think that the private school market is pretty much who can slang the most booster money to the kids?
Can't get no more straight than that.
Because
Hey,
you got
call it like it is.
no, well, I asked because you guys said it costs 18,000 and that number to go to the school for 1 year. But I know a lot of kids who end up at these schools like Mater Day and stuff like that. They don't have those type of parents. They flying them in from across the country and putting them up. So, do you think because our culture is not where we putting them up like that is the reason why it's not like big as out of town?
yeah. Well, I'm gonna look at it. I look at it in two different ways. Because like I said, I've been in Covenant 4 years, so of course, without saying it, we know where they're at, where it's at in Dallas, and why it brings in the people that it brings in. That's if you've been staying in Dallas, you know. But on the other side of it, I mean, as a parent too, like when you start looking at it, you got a 6'2", 6'3" kid or whatnot, even 5'11" and up or whatever, and you think he has D1 potential, you'll let him play wherever. Or you have another parent who looks at it, well, my son has potential, but for him to get more film or whatnot, I'll put him in this school or whatever, where there's not many people on their football team. So it's kind of on you as a parent, what you want to do with your kid, what school you want to get them into, and what type of education they getting. So, so when we say classical Christian over here at Covenant, like that's literally like a theology. You're gonna have a theology class, like, so it's different for some people. And some people might not want to take on those tasks. They might not want a college level for their child, and get crushed with a lot of homework. They want to focus on getting a Division I scholarship. So I mean, I think a lot of that just has a lot to do with like we could set our kids up for that, put money back for them now so that they can go to private school and high school, and stuff like that. Because I think we are dealing with a generation where kids can go to school and they definitely get easily influenced about who they with. It's only so much as a parent that we can control at home. Where at a classical Christian school, of course, I think it's a little bit more stricter. It's uniforms every day. It's less interactive, no phones. Like, you don't have time to TikTok dance. Like, there's no freedom really to do anything. So when they get out of class, like, now they finally can get on their phones, or now they can finally look at huddle. Like, it's just a little structure different. But a lot of private schools are the same way, not just ours.
So let me ask you a question. What type of level of success does kids coming out of your program going to college have, as opposed to, basically what I'm asking is how many go on and stay in college as opposed to coming back home?
Well, to be honest with you, I've been there 4 years. So the guys who have, graduated, started in 2019 when I got there, all of them go academically to big Division I schools, and a lot of them are still there. And I just know through, Instagram and stuff, and they add me and stuff. But a lot of them tend to either filter in the same schools, the A&Ms, the Texas. Some of them go to Oklahoma and stuff as well too, Ole Miss and stuff like that. But a lot of them tend to go to the school. But everybody kind of really get a Division I, get some type of scholarship money academically, and they be going Division I. So, but not to.
That's the curriculum is set them up. So pretty much walk in there and get whatever they trying to get academically for the scholarship. Some of them actually go. We really, if you say what sport really drives from this school is baseball. A lot of guys go play baseball at the next level and stuff like that.
And soccer.
Yeah, and soccer. Yeah, in soccer we have some really sought after kids, but at the same time, football is. We got some athletes on the football team as well. That's pretty good as well.
So how long have you guys? So you have. So who do y'all play? Are y'all in that? Like, what district are you guys in?
What 4A Division II. So we got Dallas Christian, Shelton.
Brookhill.
We play First Baptist every year. They're not in our district though, but that's a game that we play every year. We usually always play a Tyler school. We got Grace Community this year. They undefeated right now. They're another school that's in our district. And then
Brookhill.
Brookhill. I think they like southeast of Tyler or something like that. Yeah.
So fellas, did y'all? I know y'all was on the bye. Did y'all go check out Dallas Christian and Fort Worth Christian this past weekend?
We watched. Yeah.
I'm all watching.
yeah. We watched that joint.
It was a good game.
Yeah. I noticed my man Jawan was there. Man, Jawan was there, and he was sending out a lot of play-by-play. I don't want to know, man. What did y'all think of that game? Because to me, that was kind of an upset. Because I thought Dallas Christian was a loaded team that really was too loaded to be in D2. But what did y'all think of that game?
You want to go first? Or?
Well, they have a rivalry. That makes it even more intense. Them and Fort Worth Christian have a standing rivalry. So those games are always played harder, even by the team that don't even have the most on paper. But we knew it was going to be a tough game. We was on the podcast last week listening, and that game been amped up for a while. So those Dallas Christian is definitely loaded, as well as Fort Worth Christian. But Fort Worth Christian came out with a game plan to actually combat whatever they were trying to do. So that's what people run into. Dallas Christian is super talented and everything, but it's a lot of coaches that just kind of think, oh, I'm gonna go in with this same defense that I've been running the whole year, and they get chopped up by a really good team. So Fort Worth Christian came out with a good plan. So we definitely kind of gleaned from that joint. So
I think that was Dallas Christian third. No, that was Fort Worth Christian third time beating them since 2007 or something like that. They said so. Yeah, I think it was a big upset. It was a lot of turnovers from Dallas Christian, part of it too. That had a lot to do with it. But yeah, I mean, if you watch the whole game and if you was there, you can see that the game plan was there. And a lot of people got to understand too, when you're 4 or 5 games into the season, now you got more film. Now you can see more tendencies. Now you can see what somebody's planning on doing week to week. So it should make the games a little bit more exciting, not like the first few games of the season. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's gonna be interesting because y'all play this week, right?
yeah.
That's a big game, man. I don't. It's crazy, man. We went from a bye week when everybody on the bye, and it was hard to find a good game.
Yeah, that's
Now,
crazy. Yeah.
now everybody playing this week. I
Yeah.
don't know how you go choose. I mean, that's a big game, and then I mean, I think Centennial playing Alito that's gonna be a big game, and then you got Crowley playing Boswell. That's a big game.
Yeah.
You got Hatch and Duncanville is a big game. I think DeSoto playing Mansfield, who undefeated,
Yeah.
another big game. I'm like, damn. Now we done went from no games to now all the big games.
Yeah.
It's just,
Real.
It's gonna be a good week.
And some teams really on that edge of they need to win like 3, at least 3 out of their last 4, 4 out of their last 5. That type of situation right now. So
yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in you guys' game with Dallas Christian because I just from everything I heard is they just got this unbeatable team and then they just got beat. So now it's like, well, do they really got this unbeatable team? You know what I mean? So
right.
You know, now
they good, man. They're really well coached. So he's been there for a while. How many years, Courtney?
30.
30 years. Yeah, they're coached up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that game. So hopefully, you guys pull off because since I don't know nobody over there, I'm just gonna root for you guys. How about that?
We need it, man. It's gonna be a hard game, but we believe we got a good plan.
Teams need these mid-season matchups though, because it's definitely get you playoff ready right now. So it's about that time now that, like I said, you got 4 or 5 games to people. Your kids should start understanding a little bit better what's going on now, who coming from them, who blocking them, all their assignments and stuff by now too. So
yeah,
that's
really kind of playing for seeding to start. That's really what you kind of what you playing for, honestly.
So tell us who are some of the players that's some of you guys' main players and standout players that if someone come check y'all out, who is it they should be looking out for?
You want to talk? You want to say it?
you got
it.
You
want to go? You want me to go?
I mean, I start off with Mark, man. Our quarterback, Mark Spangler. He's a 4-4 kid. Like, and when I say 4-4, I'm talking about that 4-4 that on the field 4-4 where dude just get out of there and scramble out the pocket. He is very, very fast, bro. So he make a lot of plays on his feet. And then we got James Predachinski, a linebacker, of course, well too. He the lead tackle. He probably had like 115, 120 tackles last year. And he almost get double digits about every game. He like literally all over the field. And then Dobson, we got a DN, Dobson Beard, real athletic kid. He can play basketball too. So he real good in the paint, but he's just long, athletic. And then Benji Golick, our running back / safety. So he leading the team in interceptions right now. And then he's just a great elusive runner for us. So just a few guys there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you say y'all got what, 1 or 2 D1 cats or?
Yeah. So right now, James Predachinski is our linebacker, and then Dobson Beard. I got a buddy at SFA. He actually came up to take a look at them. He just said he always feels like private schools have a diamond in the rough. So he's looking at them right now. They gonna have more film and tackles and highlights probably than a lot of guys at these 5A, 6A schools because they play so much and they make so many plays. But it is good film too, though. It's not it's not shabby film. Like they really know how to get to the ball, hog people down, and make plays. So
yeah, those guys ball out every game.
Yeah,
give their all too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see my man BJ made it in, man. So Yeah, we got a lot to talk about with BJ. BJ is our up north guy. He gonna give us the dirt on all the Allens and the Lovejoys and the Den Ryans
Yeah.
and all them. Can you hear me, BJ?
I can hear you. I can hear
Oh
you.
yeah. So we got very good conversation coming up. 'Cause he gonna tell us why Sock can't beat Lovejoy this year. He gonna tell us.
Ooh. I'm gonna tell it all. I'm gonna tell it all. Hey, but
he also gonna tell us
for
why Allen is the real Eagles. Ain't no
yeah.
other Eagles.
Ooh.
My
Which
man,
one?
say he coming to
Y'all
tell the
like
truth.
it? Y'all like which
Look like I
half?
showed up to the wrong show, Jamie.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
You at the right one.
You might not like it. Y'all might not like it because BJ got something to say. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He ain't here to play with it.
Hey,
But hey,
Jeremy,
man, I appreciate, huh?
You know, Courtney is Courtney is from. He played at Duncanville, and I played at Cedar Hill. We both played the same year. 04. Both graduated 04. So now we got to work together. We was rivals, but now we working together.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah. He played at OU and all that. Played cornerback and all that at OU. Those. He always showing his rings off at practice too. So you know what I'm saying. But
he played on that state team.
yeah, he
Okay.
he was there with all the juice. So yeah.
Already. But hey man, I appreciate you guys. Y'all want to sit in on it, y'all welcome to.
Sure.
But we go transition to my man BJ because we got him here.
Already,
You know,
man.
he gave us his time, you know, up there in Allen. You know, they don't they look down on the southern sector a little bit, you know. They like, well, I guess I get time.
No. You starting it off right. You already starting. No, man. I think it's the other way. I think it's more the other way.
No. It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm just messing with you, but
I know.
Hey, did you check out the game this week? Or did y'all play this week?
Yeah, we did. We had homecoming. We played Rock Hill, but I didn't go to the game. My son went. He went to the game, but yeah, Rock Hill still got a long way. I think so.
So tell us about Allen, man. We know they had the Bosco thing, and nobody really expected them to really, just like the rest of the teams when they played these powerhouses. Nobody expected them to like really pull the upset. It'd been nice if they did, but they didn't. It seemed like they don't bounce back since then. So man, so tell us about Allen, man, and where you think they going with it this year.
Man, it's been up here. There's a lot of commotion as Chad Morris came in and how long he was going to be staying and what that looked like and everything. So once he left, we had a lot of big names on our radar. You know what I mean? To bring coaches in this way. I think we got all the way down to Coach Rayburn, and I think that they were finna pull the trigger. From what I know, with Coach Rayburn from Lone Star, right? And I think it was just he wanted a little more doings than what Allen was going to allow him to do. So we got Coach Wigington, right? And nobody's really heard of this guy. So just trying to figure it out and see what he's all about, man. I've heard nothing but great things before I actually got a chance and ran into him and talked it up with him for a little while. But as far as the season goes, man, I'll say this. On any platform, this ain't that I'm not looking for no excuses, anything like that. I'll tell you what it was. And Jeremy, I think you and Jesse know, I've been telling y'all day one. We Bosco. Now I didn't think they was going out 21 us, right? But I knew what it was, and I told y'all. But this is the thing, man. You got a whole new coaching staff. Coach Morris didn't announced that he was leaving till after the spring game, right? So you got a whole new coaching staff that hasn't even been picked yet. We're still going through everything till late May. Then once you get that coach, he brings in all of his guys. So he's doing his interviews, blase. So when that happened in about May and we're getting ready to go into the summer, and we don't even have a coach. You know what I'm saying? We knew what it was going to be. Then that coach gets down here, and then they have to, bring in their other coaches. They have to worry about the commute of moving and everything, and then catching up with the kids and trying to get to know the kids throughout the summer. All while you're going to have a good 2-3 weeks to prepare for the number one team in the country. You know what I'm saying? So just being realist, like, man, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. And when we played Bosco coming out, man, it wasn't. I think that first half it looked a little. The first half, the end of the game looked a lot worse than what it was. Right, that first half they did jump on us pretty early, but it wasn't like a blowout. We were still in the mix. We had some miscues in which our quarterback just like totally missed some deals and everything. But you can't miss those opportunities against no Bosco. So when that happened, then it started raining second half, then they just started rolling. But since then, it's always, how do you bounce back? What does that look like, right? How the kids gonna fold, and especially with this new coach. But man, for everything that it's worth, I could just say, just watching the response, because we had the back door with CE King, and they were coming in with a lot of commits, and they had some momentum on their side, and then we had to backdoor that with Arlington Martin. So we never play a soft preseason schedule. You know what I'm saying? We always play teams from out of state. Usually play out of district. We'll play usually play like Cedar Hill or whatever that looks like. But we usually play every year a team from out of the state. You know what I'm saying? So just after that, man, they rolling. We rolling right now. It's just getting into the bulk. We still have in our district. It's always going to be us, Geyer, and Prosper, right, are going to be 3 of the 4 that comes out. In what order, we don't know. Last year, we all went in a little circle. We beat Geyer, Geyer beat Prosper, Prosper beat us. This week, we have McKinney, and they're going to be, they well suited. Marcus Shavers, because he got them boys over there rocking and everything. So then he went to Allen. So this is a big, like, homecoming game for him. So, man, just dealing with that. So we got McKinney. I know then next week we got, Geyer, then Prosper. You know what I'm saying? So these
we'll
next
know.
3
We'll
weeks,
know what Allen made of.
over these next 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So
that's pretty good. And McKinney is good. I know they got a big time running back up there that's gonna be
B-Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna be easy to deal with. And of course they got the quarterback from Liberty.
Yeah.
So how is McKinney looking up there? They doing their thing. I don't look like they got much of a defense, but the offense don't have a problem scoring.
Man, Marcus Shavers, he was and it's crazy because he's actually, his mom and my mom are actually cousins, and he's actually my son's godfather, right? But Marcus, watching what he's done, man, he's an Allen kid anyways, and then he was a DC out at Wichita Falls High School. And then he was the head coach at Lubbock Estacada and helped change that program all the way around. Got them boys to playoffs and everything. And then McKinney's been slept on, but man, they got like 11, 13 D1 boys over on their squad. You know what I'm saying? So they making some noise, man. They moving, but again, when you get like, it's always, like I said, it's gonna be those top 3, and then those bottom 2 for that 4th seed is gonna be, I think it will be McKinney. It's either gonna be McKinney or Boyd. One of those. Little Lamb has they got some players over there, but we'll see, man. I think McKinney will get in that 4th spot for sure this year.
Okay. So before I let the fellas ask you something, go ahead and give us the rundown on Lovejoy, man. Have they gotten their stuff together since Crowley
Man,
on them?
I feel like they have. They rolling. You know what I'm saying? Their offense. The thing with Lovejoy that even and I won't even, I'm still trying to figure out is you have the kid Hondo, as a sophomore on varsity last year, throw for um, 54 touchdowns, something like that. And then as a sophomore, and he comes back and he's not the starter. But this other quarterback they have, Dylan, I can't think of his last name. He's been rolling pretty good. I don't know what that is and what that situation is over there, but what I do know is, man, when Lovejoy, all of Lovejoy's receivers are healthy, I don't see nobody stopping them. And they are all healthy right now. They're moving. You got Kyle Parker. He's a 4 or 5-star kid going to LSU. You got Parker Livingston. He's only a junior and he's 6'3". He's got offers from everywhere, Arkansas to UT and everywhere. Then you have Jackson Lavender, who's we'll get into this other deal later, but we've been tracking Jackson's speed because I'm a sales rep for Catapult, right? And so we've been tracking Jackson's speed and his progression and everything. And this kid is playing at a top end speed of 23 miles per hour. You know what I'm saying? And he's committed to SMU. Um, they weak point is their weakest point. I don't want to say weak point is going to be the running back, but the running back they have, he can stay healthy, man. He's been on the squad since he was a freshman, but just got their 2 defensive studs back, and Pierce, Peyton Pierce, who he's a junior. He's going to be number 1 linebacker of his class. So they moving, man. They're moving. I think they're still trying to figure out some pieces. Got a new coaching staff and some new coaching pieces. But I think they be healthy. They definitely gonna do better than what they did last year.
Oh, okay.
I say that, but a team, one that kind of that I'm trying to look into that's really got me by surprise is Argyle. Because Lovejoy put up 51 points on Argyle, somewhere around there, but Argyle put up 56 points, and they've been rolling too. So, but yeah, man, I literally stay, and the reason I'm so connected with them too is because literally where my house is, I can go right across the street, and I'm at Allen Freshman Center. I go up one more light, and I'm at Allen High School this way, and then I go this way, and literally not even probably about a 3-minute drive. I'm at 2 lights and I'm at Lovejoy High School. You know what I'm saying? So seeing them and getting to know both of those coaching staffs, man, you can't go wrong with neither one, for sure.
Do you think they got a run in them this year? Or 'cause I remember the interview Coach Carr did with North Crowley head coach after that game.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he said was, we just kept 5 men in the box because we wasn't worried about their run game.
Yeah.
So that kind of let me know that, well, if North Crowley can say that, then I'm pretty sure when they get to the playoffs, when they playing better teams and better athletes, that's gonna be one of the things that they're gonna have to overcome.
For sure. And then we all know you got to be able to run the ball. And Lab will tell you that he doesn't care what type of air raid system or anything that he implements. He's going to tell you got to be able to run the ball. Got to be able to run the ball. And like I said, that's their weaker point, is to be able to run the ball. But I think they're slowly gaining more confidence in their run game. Well, it's been shown since the Crowley game, they've gotten better in the run game every game since.
Coach Carr, you got anything for my man?
I got one question, man. Kyler Murray played a huge role in putting Allen on the map and keeping y'all relevant. Since he's graduated, y'all haven't been very relevant as far as like pushing for state titles, like, you know what I'm saying, like really just like dominating like y'all used to. What is the reason behind that? Because a lot of kids are moving into Allen, and a lot of coaches are leaving, like y'all turnover. and the head coaching job and stability and everything like that, is Allen now considered a stepping stone job, or like what's going on with that?
That's a good question. So I want to say this. I didn't I didn't I didn't go to Allen High School, right? And I played against Allen High School. But I've been living here for the past 12 years. My kids are homegrown. I have elementary PE taught, so that's why I'm connected with Allen. I'm gonna say since 2001, Allen has won district every year. Okay, Kyler got here. He did. A lot of people don't know this. Whether this means anything, it matters. I don't think it does, right? I'm a Kyler fan. Been knowing him and Kevin for a long time, right? Um, Kyler did keep us really put Allen on the map. Previously in 11, we had won. Allen had won their first state championship before Kyler got there, right? Always 4, 5, 6 rounds deep in the playoffs, whatever that looked like. And we talking about in the early 2000s, since then when it was only 3 teams to go. Allen's nemesis has always been South Lake Carroll, which is still to this day, right? Once Kyler got here, man, I'm gonna say this: Kyler came in midway through his second game, midway through the second quarter against Capel, and they didn't pull it out. We didn't pull it out, however you want to look at it, and lost, right? From that point on, Kyler started every game as a sophomore moving forward, and the success we have to this day. So a lot of people, it's how you word it. It's not that Kyler ever lost a football game, because he did. He never lost as a starter, right? So that's why everybody throws that on there. He's 44-0 as a starter, or whatever it was, right? I also want to say this: 3 of Kyler's linemen and one of his receivers, 2 of his DBs, 1 of his linebackers, they're all in the NFL today. And Jalen Guyton, and you also have Jalen Jones, Greg Little, um, um, what's his name that was just with the Cowboys, man? Christian Sam. So their team was super, super loaded, right? Now, win all those state championships without Kyler? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then after that, we had that's when our wave of Grant Tisdale came in, Theo Weiss, Devin Butler, Jaden Jernigan. You had all of those, in which we ended up winning state again. Since then, um, you know, we have lost a great amount of coaches. Coach Kane, who is the defensive coordinator and been here for 10 plus years or whatever that looked like. Coach Kane is now the head coach at Sherman High School, and he took a group of them with him. And then the last year, before we get Coach Morris in here, a lot of stuff was just breaking up. So it's not like, I don't think that Allen is, well, I know we hadn't fallen off. It's we beat Duncanville, then we lose to Duncanville the next 2 years, right? Then we lose to Rockwall, and last year we lost to South Lake Carroll, right? But we're talking like 4 rounds deep at least every year. I don't think, and I think that's where everybody's used to seeing Allen just in the finals, somewhere in the finals, in the mix and everything. I don't think Allen's just falling off. If you want to say that, it's just everybody back on board, the community coming back in, and Allen getting their full swagger back. Because we
So,
only, yeah, go ahead.
So y'all did fall off.
No. I just said
Kyler Murray,
we can just get our swagger all the way back.
I'm just messing with you.
I want to say it too.
No.
So you did.
At the
end of the day, man, y'all. I guess what I'm saying is we've always been accustomed, like you're saying, seeing Allen in the state championship, seeing Allen, at least semifinals. That has always been the expectation for Allen. You know what I mean? It's and since that 4-year run or 3-year run or whatever, however many games he won straight bro, I know it's a lot of games and a lot of championships.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that since he's left, I just feel like, yeah, you won a state championship after that, but that was your same coach. So once your coach left, and you lost that kind of, to me it just seems like every other year Allen's looking for a new head coach. You know what I mean?
Well, that I can tell you, that was the deal. That's what messed us up over the last 2 years, man. I don't know why Chad Morris. Why? So it's crazy because I don't know this part of Allen. Allen and Arkansas have some weird type of connection or some good type of connection or whatever it is. Because a lot of our kids that graduate from Allen, they go to Arkansas University, right? Like just non-sports wise. And I've always tried to figure that out and like what it is, right? And then it's just so all of a sudden we ended up getting Chad Morris. But I could tell you a lot of people weren't happy of that because his contract alone was only a 3-year contract, right? So we were like, why are we going? The community actually wanted Marcus Shavers. We wanted Coach Shavers. Once he interviewed, it was talks of Coach Riley Dodge. He interviewed for the Allen deal. Yeah. So, but we as a community wanted Marcus Shavers just because he's a homegrown Allen kid and everything that he's done. But he also played at the University of Arkansas too. You know what I'm saying? We weren't too happy with getting Chad Morris in. Nobody was just like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. And then we still had questions once we got, and it was like all of a sudden we're thinking we at least gonna have him for a couple of years. Then all of a sudden we're hearing this about he's got this still on his college contract and he's got to go do this out, and otherwise he's gonna miss on this amount of money and all this other stuff. So everybody, everybody was kind of panicking like, damn, man, we're going to get a new coach. We get a new coach. I do believe Coach Wig, with what he's doing, he's actually took the time to reach, like, when I say like all of the community, like he actually took the time to have, where it's 3 middle schools here in Allen before they go to the freshman center. It's Ford, Curtis, and what's the other one? Erickson, right? And he's actually taken the time to go to each school. Not only that, sit with each 7th and 8th grade and really talk to the parents and get everybody to buy in and understand what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's big because he's not usually, and the reputation that you get, and what I always known is the Allen coaches, they sit up there at Allen High School and they just wait for the little ones to come through. But they're like, and again, this is all new, right? So I'm still trying to figure out, is this really how it goes? But they're at these kids' practices in the morning, the Allen High School coaches, they're at the kids' some of their practices in the evening. They're tweeting, they're taking pictures of the middle school kids, like making it a big priority to really show interest in our middle school boys. And I think that's big. And a lot of that is because I done seen them all. I done had a group of kids that's going through here in middle school, and we've never had anything like that. So again, I'm just trying to ride the wave right now and be on the positive side because we got talent, man. We got talent. Allen's always gonna have a line, offensive line, defensive line, but it is like that. Like we lost number 1 defensive end in the state, right? Or outside linebacker to Katie Pato or whatever.
Pato, yeah.
Because
Just committed to A&M.
Yeah, his dad got that job offer, So then both of our linebackers, boom, they go down. Game 1 versus Bosco. So
I gotta ask you, man.
Yeah.
I told you I was gonna ask you.
Come on.
Why is the Allen Eagles the real Eagles over the Soto Eagles?
We beat the Soto all the time. We beat Cedar Hill all the time.
So are you saying that y'all own the South?
He king of the South. Sound like what he's saying.
No, I mean, the only team from the southern sector that ever gave us fits was Duncanville, and we won and won. That's the team. Every time Cedar Hill came up here, it ain't even close.
Even with Caden South, you right.
It ain't even close.
You right.
So you saying that y'all the king of the South?
he ain't saying, but he's saying.
Yeah.
That's what it
Look,
sound like to me.
yeah.
That's what it sound like to me. He said, hey, I mean, we only beat the DeSoto and Skyline, DeSoto, and Cedar Hill, and 1-1 against Duncanville. So was it y'all lost the last one y'all played against Duncanville, huh?
Correct.
The Duncanville own y'all right now.
Yeah, they don't own us. They up one.
Y'all the prince of the South.
Let's just say
South. Y'all
but
just the prince of the South.
and I say that, but man, we respect them boys. We respect the boys in the South for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't overlook, and I think that's the good thing about Allen is they don't overlook or prepare for anyone. Like every game, we take the same approach. You know, it's just some people. You know how it is. Some people we just got your number. So Cedar Hill, they come up here all the time with all them athletes and everything, and we leave by halftime.
As you say, y'all just better than them, right?
Yeah, we just
Okay.
better. And I don't think now. I'll be honest. Like if we meet, and speaking on this year, right? I think we get into the playoffs. I think the only ones that give us fits is gonna be Duncanville or Southlake.
I'm curious though. I'm curious. I didn't realize that Riley Dodge, y'all had a chance to hire him. Like to me,
That's
that would
crazy.
make more sense than anything. Like y'all fumbled the ball on that.
Well, I feel like this. I think Riley did that to get a bigger pay. Me personally, I think he did that to get a bigger pay increase where he was at. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. Hey, I may be leaving Southlake, going over here to Allen, and they already got this and that and everything. What I can do and everything because it happened.
Well,
you know,
I'm saying
I have a question real quick about that.
Y'all should have called him to the flow though. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Hey, listen.
If we're gonna play this game, we're gonna go all the way out. We're gonna finish this all the way out.
I agree. I think Chad Moore. I don't like I said. I don't think, and none of us were in agreement with that Chad Morris. I think more so than Riley Dodge, like though is Marcus Shavers would have been, but he was a final candidate, right? I'm gonna just say they didn't.
Allen ain't ready for a black head coach. Can I
Okay,
just say it?
I heard.
Can
Okay,
I
real
say
quick.
it?
I heard that Rayburn from Lone Star was supposed to have that job too. What happened to that?
So from what I got is Rayburn was supposed to have the job, and he was trying to come in for one. You can't. I believe this is it in the high school. You can't just wipe everybody out, right? Like just and I think Rayburn wanted his whole crew. He wanted everybody out, and I know he was. I do know he was wanting demands far as like more added stuff. Like I don't know if that's practice fields or whatever, but I know one big one he wanted to bring on was a recruiting coordinator, and he wanted to bring on not just a recruiting coordinator, but something to deal with the team, far as to deal with college coaches and scouts and all of that. And Allen was like, "Man, we don't have the budget for that stuff. Like we're not doing that." And at the end, and then his team that's returning, they were just super loaded. You know what I mean? And as far as I know, he was wanting a whole lot done this way.
Hey, do you think Mike can take that next step, man?
I do, man. You know, I had Mike whenever I had my Nike Pro Skills, or I had Mike and got a chance to get to know his dad a little bit and everything. I really do, man. When he's climbing, You don't look at Mike, and I haven't seen Mike and think like he's regressing in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? And he's confident. You can see. I always look at from the quarterback, like, how are these other ones, how do you really take command of the huddle? How are they playing hard for you? You know, everything of that nature. And, you know, we return, I think we return 7, 8, 9, 10. We return 8 starters on offense alone. You know what I'm saying? Our Mike, he's a junior. All three of our receivers, our tight end, running back, everybody are juniors right now. But I think Mike, to answer your question, I do. I don't see Mike's falling back in any type of way.
Real quick, how special was General to you when he was there was it last year or year before?
Year before, General
Yeah.
Booty.
Yeah.
Man, nothing.
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 Because
Wow.
I have to ask.
And if you look at his record, like I was looking at it anyways, like every year he's been at a different high school. You know what I'm saying? So he came here to play his senior year, and we were super young then, and he didn't come back. It wasn't like he was coming back here sitting in the pocket, throwing 400 or 500 a game and stuff like that. So he wasn't.
How did he end up at Tyler Junior College?
Man,
what happened with that recruitment? That recruitment, I swear, it still baffles me.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea how he ended up at Tyler. I really lost connect with him. I just saw whenever you were getting the breaks beat off of them that he was over there.
Well, he signed with OU late because they was out of QBs, right? OU was just desperate. They were just grabbing any QB they could find, and they grabbed him over the summer. But he's like third string there.
Yeah, exactly. I like I said, he wasn't like when General's here. He wasn't like, oh, we finna win a state championship now that we got General. That was a lot of the talk, like his name and everything carried a lot of weight coming in, Cali boy and all this stuff, but nobody was just like, oh my gosh, he's the man. He's gonna do it. But I got a question. If y'all don't mind me asking a question,
go for it.
Why does all and again, I know I've spoken to you about this, Jeremy, but why does all of the Southern sector football, everything looks the same. Everything looks the same. And when I say that,
Coach Cole laughing.
And when it looks like I was super impressed last year. I can't lie, with Sock. Like I was really impressed. And when I watched them go play Alito, and when I went and watched them well, it was somebody else I seen them play. It wasn't Lovejoy because we had a game that I was out of town that weekend. But like you could really see that Sock really runs a true 4-2-5. The concepts and the routes that they were running behind, the sense we get, and maybe this is because this is what it looked like a lot, when we're sitting up here watching Cedar Hill play, and I'm watching DeSoto play, but it looks like a lot of spread type formation, right? And a lot of quarterback run left, quarterback run right, a lot of just zone read and then it's like it's run around a little bit, drop back, throw the fade, or because my athlete is a 5-star going to Ohio State and your cornerback can't guard me, so throw it up and then we go get it. It never seems like and again, I'm asking, it never seems like it's a lot of creativeness to that. That's why I called out specifically on Facebook. Remember, everybody ate me up. I said Southlake will beat Duncanville this weekend, and Westlake will beat North Shore this weekend. And that
was the COVID year, right?
Yeah. So I guess my question is there, when y'all are watching it, do y'all see any creativeness to that, or does it? Am I just tripping?
I'm gonna go first. Oh, let me go first, Will. I'm gonna go first with it. Okay, this is my theory on it. Well, actually, I don't even have a theory because it's a question that I feel need answering. I was talking. We had D Money on last week. He's well connected with all the schools, right? And I think one of the problems is in the Southern sector is QBing. Like we don't have the same type of quarterbacks as the North. Okay. Now that could be good, that could be bad, right? Okay. So of course, like when Duncanville had JJ, nobody up north had a JJ either. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's just the reason why we see that same offense. And the problem I have with it is I don't have a problem with the offense. I just feel like these schools down south don't cater their offense to their personnel more.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying?
That yeah.
Like
Okay.
you
Okay.
said, Sock last year, but I feel like Sock was the anomaly. Look at this, man. This is from last week against Spruce. I'm gonna show you. Look at this. These are the quarterbacks.
Dang.
Now, am I making anything up? This is last week versus Spruce.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. That's last week against Spruce. I feel like, and that's why one of the things that we've been talking about is trying to get a QB training for the South. Because I feel like it's not enough. I feel like we have a QB problem, but I also feel like schools don't cater to their personnel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't have a problem with the spread if you got a JJ and you run a power spread. I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have a Salter at Cedar Hill
Mm-hmm.
that can run and throw, and you want to run a spread where you can run and throw, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The problem is when you have, like I just showed you, you trying to run an offense that don't fit what
Yeah.
you have. That's the problem. And I think that's the problem that a lot of the South schools have. Go ahead, Will. I'll let you answer that. Then Swag, you go out the Will.
I think what you said, Jeremy, is true, but I also think that's twofold. I think the biggest problem is coaching, um, and coaching leads to lack of development. So I think that all goes hand in hand. I also think that you can run any offense in the world that you want to run if you are fundamentally sound in your principles of each position. I go to games and I watch quarterbacks can't handle a snap. I can't see a clean handoff to the running back. The running backs are reaching for the balls. I don't see people making pockets. I see bad alignments. I see a lot of pre-snap penalties. So I think that the biggest problem is coaching. I mean, if we want to just get back to the root of the problem is, and I'm saying that, even if you got money, you can afford trainers, that's cool. But at the end of the day, there were a lot of good quarterbacks that came out of DISD before this training thing got big. But there was also a lot of good coaches in DISD, until they said that you had to have a degree to coach. I mean, a certification to coach. So I
Yeah.
think
Right.
that at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you lost a lot of real good coaches. And yeah, you can go and you can get these trainers and you can have these kids doing all these things. But at the end of the day, man, if that quarterback is going into a system and where he is developed and his receivers are running routes at 6 yards when they're supposed to be running them at 8, that quarterback is going to look bad. It does not matter. You know what I'm saying? So to me, at the end of the day, you got to start developing a program to where you can start getting these kids at a young age. Yes, but it just kind of goes back to something I saw this weekend, and I just saw it on social media, and I don't know if it was. I want to say it was the Havoc versus the Pac Prime. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But we're talking about Little League football, where they're coming off the ball and they have their whole secondary taking a knee. Name that hood quarterback that came out of Robert Hall. I mean,
That dude, yeah.
Robert Hall, Michael Crabtree. I
you
mean,
know
we
what
didn't say they have to be
I
prolific.
mean? No,
We didn't say
no.
they have to be a prolific
Eric
passer.
Moore, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
people
Eric Moore,
college and played quarterback. You
Larry
know what
Oliver. Even though
you
he
know
was at DeSoto, but he didn't have no QB train. He straight out the Oak Cliff Redskins.
and at the end of the day, what quarterback that is trained that way that's going to a DISD school?
Anyway,
You know,
besides, yeah,
besides Cedar
Well,
Hill, well, besides your sock, you know what I'm saying?
so
And maybe before that they would have went to Skyline. You know what I mean? It's just, to me, there are not a lot of those quarterbacks are going to. I mean, even Lancaster hasn't had a quarterback that has lit up the world. You know what I mean?
And DeSoto have had a lot of good quarterbacks, so we can't just say Southern Sector ain't had good quarterbacks because DeSoto have had. Casey Prentice was a good one. Ryan Polite, I remember seeing Ryan Polite in Pee Wee,
When he
and he
number
could
7,
sling that rock, huh?
he was number 7 or something. Played
Yeah.
quarterback at Soto, right?
Well, Casey Prentice
Man,
was.
you can't forget about Boss Tristan. Tristan was a monster.
Tristan was a monster. But see, that's my whole thing. When I say quarterbacking don't mean you have to throw for 400 yards a game.
Yeah.
Because to me, the best quarterback I've seen lately was JJ. And that's because he was a leader and he performed. He could run, he could throw, he could do it all.
I think the best quarterback I seen out the Southern is Will Cole.
Well, yeah.
Man,
But see that again, like that's what I'm saying. In today's football, you know, that's like Troy Stoudemire, that running quarterback.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He was just the best athlete. And really, if you want to just think about it, hell, they ran Wildcat the whole time.
Mhm.
If you just want to be honest, you know what I mean? Because what did he end up going to college to do? Play DB? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to me, if you're a quarterback in high school, and when you're talking about being a quarterback, you're going to college and playing quarterback. You're not going to play a different position. But at the end of the day, I just think that the biggest problem is is coaching. Because the coach is going to develop that quarterback. He's going to find a way to go develop the next kid coming in a program and stop throwing that sideline to sideline stuff and do something else other than slip screens and learn how to run combination routes, learn how to run floods.
And that's I agree with you, man, because to me, you gotta fit your personnel. I don't care. You know what? If you ain't got a quarterback that's been trained, then quit running the offense that need a trained quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this over and over. It's probably like my third time saying this on 3 different shows. I don't think South Oak Cliff get a lot of credit from last year. And it ain't just because they had a dynamic defense, they had a dynamic, everything. It started with one thing, the quarterback. That same entire team that won state last year had that same quarterback a year before that, and you saw the results then. So I don't feel like anybody can just discredit what Todd and them did over there in a whole year span. They took a year. They took a year. They took a year and they worked with the quarterback.
But I'm gonna ask you a question, Rod. I don't mean to cut you off, and as I say that, I cut you off. I do apologize. I do apologize for that, but I do want to ask you one question. Was that offensive coordinator there? Because I don't know. Was that offensive coordinator there his junior year? Yes or no?
I believe he was, but like
no,
I said,
ain't no but because you gotta understand, son. I don't mean to call you son. I apologize. But you gotta understand, right?
We know you're a coach. We know you're a coach. Just go ahead and talk.
I apologize, but you gotta understand, right? We gotta stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude that was at that offense coordinator at SOC played a huge role in the development of that kid. Played a huge role in SOC winning the state championship. Because if he didn't, they wouldn't have to have the offensive struggles they had at the beginning of the season.
Again, and one more thing. Can I add to that, Will?
Please do,
sir.
Sir.
That quarterback wasn't that good his junior year. Now he did go train with Robert Hall.
Okay, let me interrupt real quick. So do you think it's a good thing to be systematic or no? Right? And when I say that, I'm gonna use this example. When you say a team is systematic, like what does that really look like? Right? We all hear like Southlake, right? Southlake, they just run this system and everything. And whenever you go look at it, you have Southlake Dragons, right? And they have a little league out there in Southlake, okay? And they have you know, Grapevine and all these other ones that come in their league. But Southlake on each level are going to have like 3 different levels, right? I'm talking Little League all the way up. They have Southlake Black, Southlake Green, Southlake White, and they're all running a version of what and I'm talking about from 5th and 6th grade, they're all running a version of what the high school is running, right? And even here at Allen, right? Coach Wig, he's came and installed systematic offense. So, like even this week, when my son and them play their other middle school this Tuesday, they're all running the same offense. You know, whereas like last year, you would go and whatever middle school is running to their whatever those coaches want to run, they think best suits them, then they're running that. What these coaches running over here at Curtis, they running that, and so on and so forth. Now everybody's running the same thing, so it becomes second nature as they get into freshman center next year and they climb up, you know, into varsity ball and everything. It's a no-brainer. They're not thinking about it. It's just moving. So it's like on one end, is it okay? How do y'all feel about, you know, being systematic? So now you can evaluate. Look, this is what they're running over here. Right, because we all know if you use Longview, for example, we all know Longview, they lining up in that I formation and they running downhill, right? So are you able to say like, hey, look, to kind of answer your question, Jeremy, like systematic play is the way to go because now as the quarterback coming up, you can evaluate those quarterbacks in your spread system, or do you say, hey, look, we got a cold. We super run heavy. We got these big backs and all this other stuff. So for the next year or two, we finna look at going into a heavy I formation, wing T type, and we're gonna go heavy run based off of our personnel. You get what I'm saying? So it can go. My question is, which one do y'all think is more beneficial? To go systematic, so you can evaluate those upcoming quarterbacks all through your system at SOC, or do you switch and say, hey, look, we're going to go to this power run because these are the type of kids that we have?
Well, that's what I feel. And by the way, we just added the head coach at SOC said send me a link, and you know me. You send you a link, you gonna get the link. So hey, what's going on, Coach? Glad you hopped in.
Hey man, what y'all boys up to tonight?
What's up, baby?
Willow, what's up, man?
Man, you know me, man. Just out here living the dream, baby.
Hey, Todd.
Yeah.
Since you right here, man, you say what we up to, man. We trying to, cause we got the homie from up north, right? He's a true up north Texas. He's from the northern sector, but you know, we got respect. But he asked, why do the southern sector run some of the same stuff a lot, right? And
Yeah.
so hey, we just trying to answer the question.
I mean, I think a lot of it because it's a lot of, you know, kind of copycat stuff of what people see that's on TV the same way. You know, people dress every day. Why they dress a certain way, why the way kids act. I think a lot of that filtered into football also. The thing that I think is different from us has been that we start up front and we haven't been really focusing on the athletes, you know, the people around them as much. And we tried to make sure we were a good team up front, which a lot of teams are not, you know, especially on that side of town, are not good up front. And, you know, I think that's the biggest part. And I think with the quarterback, I think it's a lot that comes with development. But a lot of things, what people don't include with development is time. And people don't understand it takes time to develop a guy. And people are so quick to judge people, you know, off you know, the first 3 games of the season. But, you know, the season is sucked. You know, yeah, we wanted to win our first 4 games. But our biggest goal was to find out all our flaws now early so we can correct them and then be in position to win when we play the Lovejoys, when we got to play Summits, when we got to play Argyles and those type of teams. So I think the thing with us, I could have easily padded the schedule, you know, that allowed me to increase my record and you know, and make us look like we something like we not, and then we find out later on what we aren't. And I think that's the difference with us. We play those big teams to win, number one, but the second thing is about making sure we get some experience and find out our flaws too. That's what we really looking for in the first 4 games.
Let me ask all y'all a question about quarterback. It's been
That's some feedback.
Mute Coach Todd real quick.
Okay, I got him.
Right.
Okay, my thing is this, and let's just keep it real, 100% real. Duncanville met North Shore how many times? 4?
3.
3. Besides last year, how many times did we see Demetrius Davis playing that game?
They played all of them except for one.
That's my point. In other words, they developed him down there. The problem with Duncanville down here is how many times have we seen a damn different Duncanville quarterback in each state game?
Well, I mean that's part of it, but that's you can't count injuries. But injuries though, right? Like AJ.
No,
come on, dog.
No, injuries, nothing. No. Last year, they went and got Corson County quarterback. The year before, they went and got a private school quarterback. My point is, everybody want to sit here and discredit SOC and all the other schools for their situations, but look at them. I've never seen, besides JJ, I've never seen Duncanville in a state game with a Duncanville-born quarterback. If not that, a quarterback that they developed and made into a quarterback. They are like Will is the one that's hurt now. He been waiting his turn for 2 years. It ain't just now. 2 years.
But the one that's playing now, he been there since junior high. But now I ain't gonna know. I don't know where this random Duncanville under the bus come from, but it's kind of weird, Rod. You just came out the blue with that one.
No, because
yeah, I'm just saying. You just pulled that one and I don't know what they did to you, but okay. What I'm trying to understand is because you say that, but DeSoto got a state championship because they wouldn't got.
They went, hey, same thing.
I'm just saying, you say that, but
they went, hey, they went and got Sean Robinson. You're right.
How many quarterbacks Florida got?
Right now?
I could have sworn the starter is transferred, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's the big thing. Like how many years and all that. I think the biggest thing with development of quarterback, I think is a lot of the stuff that happens before the kid gets to high school as far as training, where you actually are able to see what it takes to be a quarterback. And I think a lot of that has to go with people that are knowledgeable about the quarterback position. See, a lot of us can sit on shows, and a lot of people can go out there with a bunch of cones and a bunch of ball bags and swear they're a quarterback trainer. And just last week, I heard a bunch of random names that were labeled as some good quarterback trainers. But when I went and talked to quarterback trainers, I heard them talk bad about half the people that was named. So when I'm saying, like a Robert Hall, I've seen him work and develop kids before they were known. But a lot of times I can't really take what people say with a grain of salt, because you can't tell me a cold kid that was cold when he was 8 and then you start training him when he's 9 that you made him something. And a lot of times that's what's going on. Like, people talk about what Allen did with Kyler Murray. But every time we lost to Allen when we was at Skyline, they always said we had all the talent. And this man just named 6 people that's playing in NFL. But when Allen lose to one of us, it ain't never because we supposed to win because we got all the talent. Now I'm going to go back and break down all the coaches that been successful. And you want to talk about quarterbacks, and I'm going to tell you what an athlete was. Is Jordan McGuire at Texas Tech right now if it weren't for Will Cole?
Hell no.
Huh?
That was an athlete.
Hell no. I'm saying, was Will Cole supposed to be the starting quarterback? No, he wasn't. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep going a little deeper with you. Let's go back to resident samples with Byron Eaton. Was Byron Eaton a college quarterback, a quarterback that's gonna play in college, or was he an athlete?
Yeah.
So, and I coached him, and Byron, my personal favorite player of all time. Nah, I remember Byron. Byron didn't even practice quarterback during the season. He only played quarterback on game day. He didn't have no trainer. Will Cole didn't have no trainer. Let's keep going a little deeper. Let's go with DeSoto. When Sean Robinson came to DeSoto, they had 10 Division I players on offense. Like, come on, and Dez White really was probably the best quarterback ever in DeSoto history. The only thing was he couldn't beat Kyler Murray. But all these quarterbacks that's called, none of them ever started a game in college at quarterback.
Yep.
Think about this. Troy Stoudemire at Skyline, when we got over the hump and went to the 4th round, he was a DB.
So
in
that
college.
so my question is why do they continue to stay in the spread?
Because you can have success in the spread. But you don't have to have, like, it's two ways to be successful in the spread. Gus Malzahn at Auburn, what they were doing with Cam Newton, that wasn't about him being a great passer. That was using his running strengths and creating angles and creating advantages in the run game. When you go back and examine Allen, go back and tell me the income of every quarterback's family and go tell me about the training that kid had received long before he got to Allen. If we want to dig deep in Allen when they had good secondary players, who was really training their secondary? Them ones that went to the league. It wasn't the coaches there. Go back and really research, and it's a coach that's in not so in that area. He was training them kids. It made them kids successful. And the coaches received the compliments. Huh?
Ronnie Braxton.
Nah, that's another guy I know.
Well,
and that's what I'm saying.
Even to go back to what you're saying, in this system, to answer your question, in a spread system in the South, okay, so just looking for the football from a defensive standpoint at this. If I don't have a quarterback who could do what I need him to do, it is far easier to play 10 on 11 as a defensive coach if you don't have to worry about that quarterback being able to run or do anything. You have more opportunities to put points on the board because that kid, that athlete is a difference maker. Troy Stoudemire, Skyline, they ran, and I'll never forget this because I would tell people all the time. When they went to the spread, the first thing that people said was, oh, Skyline in the spread, they like to throw the ball. I'm like, no, they're in the spread to run the ball. Troy Stoudemire rushed for 2,000 yards. When Kincaid came, his first year as a sophomore, he was their leading rusher. JJ was Duncanville's leading rusher. That's what those type of offenses do. And out of all those people I just named, Kincaid was the only one that went to college to actually play quarterback. And really before him, what was the kid named Coach Todd that went to UTEP to play quarterback?
It was David Hall. And that's what I want people to know. If people really want to talk about who had the greatest string of inner city quarterbacks, it was the run at Skyline. We had they didn't play quarterback in college. It went from Troy Stoudemire to Brent Fraser, who went to Jay Hall, to Kincaid, to Sedarian, to Sedarian Copeland, to KC, who lost when they lost to Kyler Murray that last year. All of them went Division I, and the only one that played quarterback was Kincaid and Jay Hall. So what I'm saying is the spread doesn't necessarily have to be for the great prolific passer to go out there, but it also does some stuff if you're a good coach. You can create some numbers in the run game and make him a decent passer where he can be efficient and operate. I think where we go wrong is sometimes we think it's natural to have a good quarterback that can pass the ball, and them guys are developed and come around every blue moon.
Yeah,
right. And I think that's where the misconception. That's why I'm saying, coaches. I don't have a problem with the spread. Like I was telling BJ, I don't have a problem with the spread. The problem I have is when I see teams try to run offenses with quarterbacks that don't fit them. Like
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Is it when we talked earlier, are you more successful systematic? You know what I'm saying? Or do you play to the strength more of your players?
I'm gonna tell you this.
That's a question.
I'm saying for us, like we have a system that can accommodate the different styles of quarterback play. Now it takes some time to get it still within a rhythm, because like I can say with Kev last year, his junior year, everybody said he was sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nobody said he was good. His senior year, and he went in his junior year and played COVID ball. We had no offseason, no spring, no nothing, no summer. And then we had to play a season. We opened up playing Duncanville. He come back his senior year when we able to go through all those things that we had. And people don't understand quarterback play is affected by offensive line play. When Kev was a junior, everybody was saying, why y'all ain't throwing the ball deep? Well, we started 3 sophomores on the offensive line going against Duncanville with a D1 monster D-line up front. And people, how we going to protect him to throw it that far?
Mm-hmm.
So people don't understand the game of football. Like sometimes it's chess, it ain't checkers. Well, sometimes you got to be smart. You got to know how to milk the clock a little bit. Got to know how to run the ball, take your chances, and then understand. Don't get the defense out there 100 times, and the clock ain't moving because you're trying to throw the ball to prove a point to some people in the stands.
Well, Coach Todd, before you got on here, and they can vouch for me. Before you got on here, I said I was super impressed. Whether my vote counts or not, I just told them give you y'all's props. I said I was super impressed with SOC last year on their creativeness and offense and defensive play. You know what I'm saying? And I was heavily involved with a lot of those love joys. So I definitely say that. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about is whenever I'm up here and I'm watching Allen play, Peter Hill stuff, and they're the same thing doing.
Hey, you Coach Ty real quick, Jeremy.
No, I got it.
And they're doing the same thing, and then they come back, and then another year comes, and they don't really have quarterback play, but it's like this because this is how we view it up here. It's like, God dang, man, we would love, even if as a coach, we would love to have the opportunity. The Southern sector is always gonna have more athletes, right? Always, and it's like when Cedar Hill came up here, what was that last year? And I'm looking at it like, man, they got all of these kids going D1. Here we have all of these sophomore boys, and we blow them out the water. How does that happen? And then it is go back to big homie what you said earlier. I believe it's a lot to do with coaching, because ain't no way we got 3 Division I kids and they got 17 over there, and we blow them out by 60. Like I don't understand. I don't understand.
But I
I
will
can tell
say
you
with
how that
that.
is.
I can say, hold on, Coach. I can say with that Salton, they did go to state that year, so it wasn't just a waste of time. They did make it to state. They went to the semifinals, lost to Dengar, who's a good team,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next year they went to state, and they lost to Katy, who's a good team.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think that's a waste of talent. Go ahead, Coach.
Are you gonna eat this cornbread or
Yeah, and what I say is, it's a difference between down here, down here in my area. It's like I don't know if you watch the Game of Thrones, but it's 7 kingdoms around here, and you got to realize that these kids don't have the chemistry. So what people got to realize is talent never wins state in Texas. If you just based on talent, you're not gonna win. The thing that's gonna win state championships is chemistry with some talent. And a lot of times we don't have the chemistry because of how our area is different from up north. And a lot of people don't understand how it really is down south. People go to school everywhere, and by the time you get them in high school, like a normal freshman class from SOC, it's kids from everywhere that we trying to groom their freshman year and trying to get everybody to realize they're not the man. So by the time we really give them the buy-in and chemistry, we talking about their 11th grade year. When you start taking the kids from Highland Park, they already got all this stuff solved when they're in middle school because they've been playing with each other since they 5, 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of stuff is when people start saying we coaching on a smaller window at SOC than some of our counterparts are coaching with at other places because of the lack of time. What we did successful is that we did what we did in COVID season, and we also did it in a short window of time where we don't have a normal time to develop every aspect of the team the same way. And then also you got to realize, and these guys better confess to this, up north, they don't deal with the same issues we deal with neither. Like it's a whole bunch of stuff that away from football when people start talking about, yeah, you got 17 kids that's going D1, but that means we probably got 17, a lot of times messed up households, a lot of stuff these kids going through that ain't got nothing to do with football. And football, the only thing that's really keeping these kids afloat. When you talking about over there, them kids just playing football, and these kids over here need football or they ain't got nothing in life to live for. That's a difference. And I think if you talking about the victories, I'd much rather my kid have a chance to go to college and experience life, a better life for his family, than to win a state championship if it came down to it.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's what it's really about for me, to get them away from the area where they at.
Hey, Coach Todd.
Like I got kids, if they didn't play football, they was going to be killers, robbers, and everything. And now they about to graduate college and done change their life. So when y'all, a lot of people start talking about we had the development and the coaching. Now, hell, I'm a life coach. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm dealing with some shit that a lot of people can't even understand. That I know Randy Allen ain't dealing with. I know Gamble, Wheaton, they ain't dealing with what I'm dealing with. I'm talking about kids that ain't got a home to go to. But then people talking about all this talent, and people don't even realize this kid don't even eat. This kid ain't got nowhere to stay.
And that's the thing, man. It's funny because when people start talking about the Southern sector, it's kind of weird because in college, everybody say, I want to stay on the I-20 corridor, right? There's so much talent down in the South. And just like you just said, Matt, is that everybody from across the state say, man, they got so much talent in the South. We do. But it's that thing they say when you get a lot of money, more problems. With our talent comes a lot more problems. And those problems extend, like you say, past the football field. And see, well, a lot of people don't understand, man, and being a coach in the inner city or even coaching kids that look like us, their issues are different than everybody else. You know what I mean? And when you're talking about literally, I got to take this kid home or Ty got to stay there to like 7, 10, 11 o'clock after the game just so a kid can get picked up or he got to go pick him up. And it's 5 cars in the driveway when you pull in. You know what I'm saying? It's making sure that kid got fresh clothes when he go to school, that he got clean clothes. Yeah, we want the talent, but that's just no difference than everything else they did in civil rights. We're going to go take the black communities, strip them from all their wealth and their talent, and then we're going to take them up north. And then if you look at a team like who fell off this year? When was it Alito? When all those kids start leaving there and start going to North Crowley, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna start getting that, and I just think that at the end of the day, we need more people like Todd, because Todd is a lot like Coach James. At the end of the day, man, you want kids that if I can afford for this kid to go to college for free, and it comes down to him changing his life and changing generational curses, that's what you want. That's why we're in this game for. If you're in it for anything else, you're not gonna win. So I mean,
and y'all, I totally agree. I was speaking more. I totally agree. I know that. Look, again, Coach Ty, before you got on here, I'm not from Allen. I've been living here the last 10, 12 years, Coach. Everything, right? I'm from right up here in North Dallas, right? But I totally get it. I'm specifically talking about the X's and O's, right? Again, I gave you your props, Coach. Like I said, I could literally sit there in the 2-3 games I came to last year, see what y'all were about over there. Again, I'm talking about the ones that we played. When we played DeSoto and Cedar Hill and stuff, it just looked like the same stuff was going over and over. You know what I'm saying? It looked like the same zone read, quarterback left, quarterback right, drop back, throw it deep.
No. I feel you. And what I'm trying to say is a lot of times, sometimes you're not able to get more advanced and do more stuff because you don't have as much time to deal with that stuff because you got to deal with a lot of other problems that's going on. Like my day is not consumed with sitting in the office all day working on football. Nah, I got kids that I got to get out the street and make sure they go to class, make sure they sit in there. Like it's times I done had to go sit in the class like I'm a student with my kids, but that's what I got to do. But I don't have the same time span like these other kids. I got more stuff to worry about. Now, if you want to put me on a board or put me in a football room with any coach at any, I don't care where you go in America, I can handle my own with anybody. Like it ain't no better coach up north than I am down south. I don't believe in it. Because number one, I can make kids play for me, number one, and believe in me.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing. And I know I'm knowledgeable, and I got coaches that's knowledgeable about what we're doing and about football. And it's a personal thing because my coaches understand because they come from this area. We've seen what happens when people don't have no kind of guidance and no kind of X and O. And then what people got to realize is this too. Us as a people, I'm talking about our skin tone. We just not starting to get in them doors to get some knowledge and some things that our predecessors didn't have. Like the coaches back in the day, they went to black schools, then they went to a black college, and then they came back and coached black kids. The only thing they knew was a small culture. Well, now, because of how integration done came, people going to college, I got coaches on my staff that coached at colleges. So you got to realize we got a different wealth of knowledge than what was given to the prior coaches generations before us. But we still deal with the same cultural problems within our area that we do serve. So I think that's a big deal too. And it ain't no knock on on nobody. But I take South Oak Cliff staff and we'll play anybody, and we don't care win, lose, or draw. And when we get beat, anybody on this show can tell you, you come with all the jokes and like we take it, but that's the same way we're gonna do when we win it out. That's just how we built.
Hey, Coach Todd, real quick. When y'all lost to I forgot who that was. What did you tell me to my face? You said, Rod, turn our ass up on the show. Did you not say that?
Yeah, I did. And I tell everybody, I tell Willow that too. Like Willow, no, I say, don't take it easy on us. We get out here and get beat by DeSoto and by Lancaster. Like, give it to us like the same way. Like, it don't matter to me. Like, the thing is about, I'm trying to use each loss as a growth mechanism to make us better for later on. And I let these kids know when you winning it and you balling, everybody gonna kiss your butt. But the moment you're not, you're gonna have to deal with some criticism and some harsh words. And you gotta be able to take it both ways.
And hey, like
you learn that.
When I told you, I said, say, Jason, I remember sitting next to fans at y'all games, and these same MFs, man, he gotta go. He doing this, he ain't. And them same ones who said that about you are the same ones. I don't want to call them out because I don't want to beat nobody up. But on the same one who y'all won last year had your picture on their Facebook page as a profile. And like I told you last year when I seen you, I said, hey, it's just funny how when you was building this and you know what I'm saying, to getting to where you at, hey, they turned on you, they talked about you, they dissed you. But the minute you win, this is my coach, blah, blah, blah. And your picture all on their page and yada, yada, yada. So hey, I find it funny. But you know what, last year, the most impressive thing to me last year from y'all, man, was before the state game, you had, I don't know if it's on your Facebook page, it was somewhere you posted it. You posted your kids' grade point averages. And I think that was hella impressive because you sent the message by posting that to me showing, hey, we get it done in the classroom as well.
Big football, yeah.
And all those kids, like you said, went off to schools because they had the grades to do it. So I have nothing but respect for you, bro.
Hey, Todd, I got a question for you. Oh, go ahead, Todd. Finish the question. Finish the statement. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. But like anybody that really know me, like the whole state run, it wasn't even about, I don't even like dealing with a bunch of people and like having to talk and all that stuff. The whole thing of me, I wanted everybody else to have that moment because I was able to live the moment. And it ain't been a lot of people that come from where I come from in football that's been able to live that moment. And that's why it was special to me for them kids. And that's the biggest thing for us is we doing stuff really for these kids. It ain't just for us. Like I told the kid, if been people call me trying to pay me more money to leave, nah, that ain't in my heart. You know, like it wasn't never about that. This thing was about me doing something. Well, when I'm gone and leave this world, they still gonna remember that stuff we did on December 18th, 2021. And that's what it's about. And we don't know what I'm talking about. Like this was an achievement that was bigger than Todd. I was just a piece of it.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you though, Todd. What have you learned, man? Like from game 1 to game 3, you know, your whole mentality, like, so from coming from what happened last year, all that stuff behind you, starting new, you're at 100 now, and now, you know, you set your schedule up, and yes, you want to win, but what was the biggest thing that you learned about your team and your coaching staff from week 1 to now?
I say I think each of those losses had something that taught me. I think the first loss taught me that we got better, but we wasn't ready to knock out the giant. And I think that came down to just on the coaching aspect. I think it was just some things that we could have did better. I think it's some things that coaching wise we should have did better, put our kids in better position. Kid wise, I think they prepared for Duncanville because we never beat them, so it wasn't like they were big headed or nothing like that. Another thing is, it's a lot harder to deal with success than it is dealing with failure. Because, dealing with success, it's a lot of people that done pulled us a bunch of different ways, Willow, to be honest with you. Since we won, like I've been traveling all summer, all off season, and it really doesn't allow you to really stay locked in all the way on what you really want to do. So, dealing with success was hard. Lancaster showed us, that loss showed us what it was like when we were that hungry line trying to knock out some teams. And I think Lancaster loss was the one that really opened our eyes because they just came out there and just flat out just beat us. And it wasn't so much that I thought they were the better team, but I thought they were better prepared. I thought they were better coached. I thought they came out there with a chip on their shoulder that everybody been talking about soccer all this time like Lancaster ain't real. The DeSoto game, it showed me, it started off that first drive, it showed you, you turn the ball over, you allow a team, no matter how good you can play defensively, you allow a team to beat you. And I think it took us too long as coaches to get going on offense. What we did in the second half, in which I felt exposed some weaknesses in their run defense, it took us too long to get to that. And I think some of that goes back to the chemistry because we lost a damn good coach in losing our offense coordinator, Coach Walker, man. I'm not going to even lie. Like, he was a big part of our success overall as a program. What he injected into the program, was much needed, and the program helped him, and he helped the program. But we knew when we hired him, he wasn't going to be here long. That's how impressive his interview was. So, Willow, the biggest thing I say is you got to learn how to deal with success because it's totally different than when you lose in the season before and then you come back all hungry. Success kind of make you get full, and I think it made the kids at times to be living in the rankings and be living, we got the most people ranked in the area, all this other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with winning no damn football game. And I think it made the coaches, we didn't realize we need to do a little bit more and we need to get off our butts a little bit more in order to get us where we need to go. And resting on last year wasn't good enough. So, at the end of the day, man, like, I that's why we scheduled it, because if I'm going to get slapped in the face, I want to get slapped in the face early. I got a chance to come around and slap somebody else later on when it counts. So people didn't understand. People didn't understand when I said what we did. We looked at like we played 4 playoff games, and we won one of them. And we won versus a good team. And we lost 3 games that were like high-caliber playoff games, like playing Duncanville. That's like us playing in the 6-day state championship. Playing DeSoto is equivalent to playing in the 5th round or the 4th round of 6A. Playing Lancaster is equivalent to playing big boy 5A Division I ball. So, but and me as a coach, I didn't get down. Like when you text me after the game, you said y'all got better today, even though we lost. I understood where you came from with that because you looking at it from the same mindset that I'm looking at it from. I'm looking at it what is the positives in it. And we're gonna be fine when this to come around and you can rest your hat there. That Coach Todd and his staff gonna have the kids prepared when it's time to play the Lovejoys and it's time to play the Evermans and them type of teams. We're gonna be ready.
Coach, I got one question for you, Coach. I gotta put this up again, cause I'm disturbed. When we gonna get this settled? This is against Spruce, Coach. Where's the quarterback position gonna get settled in?
Well, you got to know in district everybody's gonna play. What we saw, Carter, he had some growing pains in that Spruce game as far as some of the passes and stuff like that. But we needed him to be able to see that, and we needed him to understand what he got to work on. We felt Trey. Will came in and did a decent job, but then he threw that pick. Then Trey came in, the guy that had been a starter, and like he came in and operated like a guy who played in them first couple games. He came in there and kind of drove the team, and we know what we got. we kind of cutting it down right now, and we're gonna find out everybody's strengths and weaknesses, and we're gonna just build on those for each quarterback. And going forward, we're gonna narrow it down. We're gonna be narrowed down some more. But right now, in district, you up 40 points. You're scoring at halftime like we scoring. I mean, everybody gonna play right now. That's what we've always done in district. And it also, the other thing it does, it allows other kids to have film to show scouts. So that guy who didn't play that much versus DeSoto in Duncanville, now they getting film where we can show college scouts and promote those guys also. And that's one thing we probably do better than anybody. We we gonna promote the backup just as much as we do the starter.
So do you plan on by the time y'all go in the playoff, or y'all gonna narrow it down to one, or y'all gonna keep the rotation, or just game by game?
I think by the time the playoffs come, I think we'll have a 1A and 1B. And I think it's gonna be based on the team we playing, who we may roll with in each game. Like in Nebraska Principal game, we ran the ball 66 times. So if a team can't stop the run, we may play the quarterback the best fits the run game. If a team we feel we're going to have to pass on, we might have to play the quarterback. We're going to play the quarterback that's the better passer. And we're going to go from there. What we trying to do is, with our defense, minimize mistakes. No turnovers. Because if we don't turn the ball over versus DeSoto and we get that touchdown, I truly, in my mind, believe it's a different ball game. But that play there led to us playing a terrible first half of football. And in the second half of football, you kind of saw what we were capable of, but it took us too long to get going.
And that was the thing. Like, when y'all came out against DeSoto on that first drive, like, that's what you wanted to see and set the tempo, and just keep pushing the ball. Because it's funny when you say, if we run the ball 60-something times, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, people can say what they want to say about SOC quarterback situation. The strength of that team is that offensive line.
Period.
And the way them running backs is running the ball, I can go, in the playoffs, you're going to have your quarterback make some throws and some plays to get you out of situations the deeper you go into the round. But again, if I can control a football game and line up and run right at you, my quarterback is going to have more success. Now, what I would tell you about, why you play those games is because when you get into a district where, no disrespect, you got a heavy DISD team district, you need to be prepared to play games because most of the time, soccer's not going to be playing fast the first half. And that's the uncomfortable truth of it. You know what I mean? So, as long as that offensive line keeps getting better, which they are, and them running backs getting better, that was a good look, man. They keep doing that.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm telling you something, Willow. After that Lancaster game, that's the group that I called in was the offensive line, because that's the group that's supposed to be carrying the offense, and they weren't playing up to the standard that we needed. And they were resting their laws on last year, and those guys they weren't playing up to my expectation of what I wanted them to play. And I personally called each one of them guys in, and I worked with the offensive line, so it was partly me too. And we just really had a heart-to-heart meeting about that after that Lancaster and DeSoto game that on the offensive line, man, like we weren't giving the team what it needed, and we supposed to be the veteran group supposed to carry the team. And right now we weren't doing our job. And then we went out there that next week, and ran the ball 66 times. But one thing I can say about me, I'm a motivator, and if something wrong, I'm gonna find the motivational words to fix it. Or either the problem, or either they ain't gonna be out there. I can tell you that much. And they understood that.
And I agree with that, Coach, because that's my biggest thing, and that's what I've been preaching with all the Sox fans that was blaming the QB. I just felt like they watched too much NFL or something. I didn't understand that, because I'm like, y'all blaming a position that really didn't stand a chance. Like, number one, understand who you're playing against. Don't tell me it's a QB problem and you going against one of the best D lines in the state and the offensive line not playing good. Don't tell me it's a QB problem if there's no run game behind it. So I really think nobody really understood what the real problem was. I know me and Will had talked to that, and after that Lancaster game, I just had enough of it, because I just feel like that offensive line should have produced way more than what it was doing. Now against the second half against DeSoto, it did. Actually, that first drive against DeSoto, it was beautiful. It just, like you say, that turnover hurt and everything. It took y'all a while to get back going. But I think as long as that offensive line is playing up to the standards and the running backs, and let alone, people ain't even talking about one of your best running backs haven't played yet, and Jay Thomas. So you looking at once that offensive line going and that run game going, the QB position really is the last thing I'm worried about. But sometimes because so many people been hitting me up about sock QB, it just made me turn into a QB watcher, which I don't even like to be, but I, I just have because I get tired of people trying to tell me, oh no, Sock got the saviors here. And I'm like, no, your savior, you go to church on Sunday for your savior. Your old line is what's gonna save you if y'all go deep in the playoffs and that strong defense.
Yeah.
Nah, you right there, man. And them quarterbacks, they like but I tell them all the time. I say it's gonna be 3 people that's gonna be hated every time you lose. Me, whoever calling the offensive plays, and the quarterback. So my kids are well aware, and what I tell them is, we live in our own little circle. And what we don't let nothing on the outside world, affect us going forward. But we process what we hear, but we don't, I don't let it get to me, and that comes from age and wisdom and being around this thing long enough to understand that, hey, people gonna treat high school football like they Cowboy fans. They gonna be waiting 30 years for another championship and get mad every time they lose a game. But I don't watch pro football, so I don't got no affiliation for no team. But I just call it like the Cowboy fan syndrome. You go spend all your money, buy all your tickets to go watch a game, and then every year you complain and get the same result for 30 years. I ain't never met nobody let somebody dog them for 20-something years and they still be a fan.
Hey, that's because I'm loyal, Coach. I'm a fan because I'm loyal, Coach. That's the team I
but
grew up
loyalty
with.
run out too.
That's true.
Hey, watch them out, Coach.
Yeah, we don't have a problem. We don't have no problems at all.
Hey, cause look, Coach. Hold on. So if you're gonna say that, you got to say that for people being Sox fans before you won a state championship.
No, you right though. But what I'm gonna say is, Willow, all they got to do is research what's successful in Dallas since Freddie James retired.
It would be you and
It's
Skylar.
been everything that somehow been underneath Sample's pedigree.
I agree
is where
with
all the winning has come from.
Absolutely.
So like that's what I'm saying. I'm just glad we was able to get that monkey off the back, with people because we went to the 5th round and lost. Yeah, they went to the 5th round, but they couldn't get over no hump. And we made it personal. And Willow, the biggest thing I say, we didn't start talking about we were gonna win state when the playoffs started. We prophesized that long before. You know what I'm saying? Like we made shirts with it on the shirt long before it was already written, and put the date on there too. So we just let boys know we weren't being humble. We like beat us then. And that's our mindset still. We just got some growing up to do and growing up coaching wise, we're gonna be fine.
But you know what's crazy about that is Madison, and this is funny. So Madison has the longest was it playoff streak or go deeper than any schools outside of Coach Sample Skyline and you guys at Lincoln, right? So like the longevity of it. So when you think about DISD football, it's amazing because I've been watching a lot of football, Todd, and I've been seeing a lot of bad football. Like really, really bad football to where, you watching the game, they got 30 penalties. And out of the penalties, 15 of them are personal fouls. You know what I'm saying? The other 10 are offsides. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't watch a game straight through without somebody throwing punches and trying to fight each other. And it's evident because you only got one team, which is you, going past the first round of the playoffs every year. But when I watch your team play, I don't see all that. So what's going on?
But Willow, did what I want you to do. Like, think back, Willow, like to all them years. It really was only one team making noise when you was in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So that's what I'm saying. So like, all we really did was what Carter became Skyline, and when Samples left and Emmett went to Sock, that became Sock. Because there wasn't no bunch of teams advancing to no playoff rounds in the 90s. I done researched every year of Dallas football. And besides and you know that, Willow, because you remember your last game was I remember your last game was against Lake Highland at Texas Stadium.
Yep. Yep.
Against Sheridan Hornbuckle when you and Moose was the top 2 D tackles in the country.
Yep.
The year before that, they won state. The next class was on probation. Then they lost without ultimating them, they lost to Sean Walters.
Semifinals.
Then they came back and lost again to Waco when old boy picked the ball off and fumbled the ball and gave them back, and Waco won the game. Then in 93, I think 93 was your year, y'all lost the second round. Then Big Pat and them and Andre Richardson and them lost in 94. That's really been the true end of, that was really the end of what I call the Carter dynasty with that 94 class. Then you come back when Allen Wilson got there and they was below Skyline though. But you understand this, but ain't a lot of people can understand what we talking about. Because they talking about some Dallas on Dallas stuff. Willow, I've been coaching in Dallas 22 years. I only lost 4 games in 22 years to a Dallas school. I lost the first 2 years when Lincoln moved up, we lost to Kimball. When Kyle Ward was playing, we lost to Kimball back-to-back when Granger and them was there. And then I lost to Carter twice, Crabtree senior year, and then Hicks and them senior year the next year. So out of all the Dallas schools I played, them the only games I never lost to a Dallas school. Like, so think about that. And I only done lost 6 district games in 22 years. So when people be talking about like district and all that crap, that ain't never been no goal of mine.
Man, I say that all the time because I only lost 2 games against DISD teams, both of them was to Kimball. You know what I mean? That was the year when they had Byron, Norton, Tamel, Buster. Even that team only went to the second round. And I guess what I'm saying is there's enough good football and there's enough good talent around the city of Dallas to where I don't see why you don't have at least, 2 or 3 teams that could push past the first, second round on a consistent basis. And all I'm saying is, when you look at SOC, there's more than enough room for SOC, in order for teams to be successful in DISD. There was more than one room for Skyline. There was more than one room for Carter. And I think Carter's biggest problem was when they had an opportunity to hire Samples and win with Coach Wilson, and not taking nothing against Coach Wilson because he's a really good coach and he's a legend. But when you had the opportunity to keep one of your own here in Dallas and change Carter, I think he could have took Carter to levels, well, he did with Skyline. You know what I'm saying? So I think that at the end of the day, man, you kind of got to look at, to me, and it's just me, there should be more than just SOC going past second, third round every year. To me, there are schools that have enough talent to where they should be going past second, third round every year without hesitation.
I agree.
And that not to happen, that's a bigger problem to me within football than it is anything else.
And I think 2 of those schools should be Hutch and Carter, because to me this year they had a talent. Now, if they do it or not, we'll see. But I think we have to start putting expectations on those programs and those coaches. And now that we have platforms that's
But you
able to
got to
bring
give them
them
the
home.
administration.
Well, let me just say this.
You got to give them the administration. Like that's what the first thing I learned by winning is winning don't start on the field. Winning start with your administration makes it a priority to understand winning in sports is gonna make your school better. Go back and retrace Allen. And that's the crazy part with Allen. In 1994, when I was a senior high school, Lincoln played Allen and we beat Allen in Lincoln. They had Chad Richardson, this cold white boy running back that went to Rice. when Todd Graham was there, that lady who's over UIL right now, they made a personal thing to make Allen what it is today. That started with administration. That didn't start because they got a good coach. That started because it was a priority of the school. That's not a priority at Carter from the administration. I guarantee you. And then the next thing is people got to stop living in the past. This ain't Carter when Willow was there. This ain't Carter when Armstead was there. So what they did is the past. You can embrace the past, but you got to have a new future. And you got to have some new sights set on something else. You can't keep hanging your head on CC too bad, too bold, when it ain't been too bold too long. That's a long time ago. Like people still living in the past. And that was my thing with even with people in soccer. People in soccer would always talk to me about when they went 10-0. And I would ask them, what happened when the playoffs started? And it was 10-1. Well, how I grew up in my coaching pedigree under Samples is, our season ain't supposed to start till the fourth round.
Man,
That's just how I was trained. So anything less than that is a failure. But a lot of people, what they determined is what was good football. And a lot of things what's wrong with Dallas people is they want parity within the district. And if you got parity within the Dallas district, if it's another team as good as soccer Dallas district, no, that means we ain't that good. That means we done dumbed down. Like, we gonna be at the top, and that's where we gonna stay until somebody got enough administration, enough good coaching, and enough good players to beat us and take us off the throne. And I don't see that happening no time soon in the next decade or two. Just being real.
I would agree with you to a certain extent if I knew something in the future that you didn't know.
Jeremy, to your
but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you know, there is enough room for more than one good DISD team. Do you know what I mean? Because soccer's what, 5A, and so then you have Carter, who is 4A.
The lower level, yeah.
Yeah, your lower level football is still not competitive. Like, I would love to be able to see a sock and Carter game, and that game is just as competitive as a Duncanville sock game. You know what I mean? Because then now you know you have that type of talent that can go past the first round, second round, third round. You know, if you're not practicing on Thanksgiving Day and you don't have to wake up in the morning and go to practice on Thanksgiving Day, then what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like to me, we got to stop with all this. Oh, that we 9-1, we 10-1. You know, we win in district. Man, don't nobody care about district. Absolutely nobody. When you're playing North Dallas, Roosevelt, and all these schools like that, and all your schools, the DISD schools, sir, nobody cares. Nobody. And we have to stop sitting up here thinking that, oh, we're winners because we're 9-1 and 10-1. Yeah, but when you play people who don't look like you, you're getting 40 and 50 put on you. So what exactly are you? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's we need more, because when you see a team like SOC, and me and Ty used to have this conversation all the time. When I had this conversation with Scotty Jackson, an inner city school can win a state championship. A inner city school does not need all the things that a suburban school to win. Coaches win games, administration wins championships. So if your administration, like Coach Starr said, is on board with what you want to do, you're going to be special. How do I know? When I go watch and I go see Coach Mays, who's the head, the AD over there. Well, he's a state winning championship basketball coach. So what do you think his expectations are? You know what I'm saying? You see Dr. Johnson and what he's doing. He's one of the best principals in the district. What do you think his expectations are? Oh, by the way, he grew up with an athletic background. So when you have all those things on board and then you start building those programs, man, it's a difference. I'm just saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying this. Whether it's Carter, whether it's Hutch, whether it's Madison, or whether it's Lincoln, you know, you look at Lincoln and shoot, coach telling me he got to teach 3 classes. How he gonna win?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How he gonna win? Todd, you got to help my man out over there, man. You know
Ty,
what I'm
you're
saying?
a Lincoln alumni, Ty. You need to get over there.
I mean, but I understand how Dallas. I understand how Dallas is, though. So so I mean, at the same time, before you gonna get help, you better do something to help yourself and make people jump on the bandwagon.
Say that.
Like
Say that.
you got to do it.
you got to do that. They listen. Our job. I always tell people. I tell people all the time. My job is to start the fire. I'm gonna start the fire. Once that fire gets started, I need y'all to come in and help keep that fire going. But people are not going to invest in you if they don't see you and invest in yourself. It's just business, man. If they see you out there winning and you doing things and you winning these games and you out there and you competitive and your kids are doing this, they're gonna help you out. You know, I don't know, Ty, man. I still think you need to go on and call my man and try to see what you can do, man, and get something going to help him out, man.
Yeah. Now I think the biggest thing what's wrong with Lincoln, man. To be honest, the population is so low, and you got to realize people done moved and vouchers is working to different places now when they work when I went to school, and you got all this collegiate, everybody in magnet school, everybody this, everybody that, and y'all know as good as well as I know, people go to school in Dallas wherever because they got family to stay everywhere. And it's hard to pull somebody back to South Dallas now that don't live in South Dallas no more just because how they view the neighborhood. So, you know, that's the thing you got to consider when you take the job. You got to find a way to overcome all them adversities that you got. And then the thing with me, like you keep saying, is Dr. Johnson. Like every coach that I wanted, he found a way to get him. Like he made it happen, Willow. It wasn't like I go sit in his office and he telling me no. No, I'm talking about nah. He went out just like we was in college, and it was an AD, and like he moving stuff around and making it happen. So I was able to get a great staff, and it's got better over the years, and we got chemistry. If we was in a trash situation, I wouldn't have Ward for no 7 years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have Coach Spencer who I coach still coaching underneath me. But now, the atmosphere and how we are at SOC, what makes people want to stay there. And then people say, why would you leave and they can go make more money at this job? Well, hell, that's what I could have did too when I was assistant coach, but I want to win. I don't want to make a few more dollars. I want to win. Like people talking about money now, I made 74 G's when I got the head job in SOC. That's low-level pay. I was the lowest coach in the district. We wasn't nobody talking about that then. But then we get a raise, and Willow, I ain't just get a raise. Everybody got a raise.
Everybody got one.
Right. Hey,
Some schools gonna stay bad because of that raise.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But you the economic force for everybody. You still ain't the highest paid coach in the district.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. But it ain't even about that. But anything I need, they try their best to help me. But if you call them and ask them, I guarantee you they'll say, Coach Todd called down here the least out of anybody. Because how I grew up in my family, a man with his hand out ain't a man. And we like to find a way in SOC.
Yeah. We're gonna make that work.
Well,
Y'all
I mean,
definitely do that, man.
I agree. I mean, Coach Ward came on here and said he ain't interested in leaving unless it's a great opportunity on the next level. Because it don't make no sense to leave.
I could tell. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I say, and that's the same with me. Like I've been reached out to from underground people, from the same people that got that L on their head right there. Like they put out a filler call to me. You know what I told them? I named a number you can't even imagine. So I make sure they tell me now and nope. Cause I ain't leaving where I'm from. My job ain't done yet.
That was deep in the underground because that same person that reached out to you, they went down a little farther south to Duncanville too. They was all down south reaching out in the underground.
Like you can't buy me. Like money ain't gonna pull me from where I'm at. It's gonna have to be because I just don't want to do it no more. And it's my time is past and all that type of stuff. But like Willow know this personal. Like Willow know hell, I wanted to go to Carter a long time ago. And Willow remember this when they hired them back in the day. When them other cats got the Carter job.
Yeah. And
but my assistant coaches don't get a raise. But I can tell anybody this. I bet you if you work in SOC, I bet you make more money than any other assistant coach in the district because you work with Coach Todd.
You know who said that, Todd? You know who said that?
Who said that?
That's Ward.
Oh yeah, the assistant coach, but I make sure Warden them on some special programs where they get some more money.
Hey, tell the track coach to chill out.
And we working on NIL deals in soccer too.
Already.
Whatever these kids can get, we can get too.
Yeah, hey, why you playing?
Hey, for real. I don't know why you can't. Can y'all get sponsorship? Can y'all get Raven King on the jersey?
Hey, the legal department better tell us we can't, cause we sure finna get it.
Hey, Todd, I think Willow need to do a merchandise deal with Todd though.
Hey, let hook it up. Hey, and then I'm gonna give y'all a special. The documentary is coming out next Wednesday at the school on the 12th. I'm gonna make sure y'all come on in. Y'all gonna be the only media people with access.
That's a bit.
It's gonna be at the school. Balance Sports did a whole documentary thing that they just gonna show us before before they release to the public.
Oh yeah, we need to be in that premiere. We make it red carpet.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying we do underwear deals too. Like we'll sign anything y'all come up with. If it got some money, we gonna take it.
Hey, put a price on yourself.
Hey, Willow, but hey, oh boy, he finding out why I can't never go work out there right now.
yeah. BJ sit back talking about God. Y'all all fell into a real conversation.
hey, and I'm out here at the bar right now.
Hey, look, BJ about to go back to Allen and be like, guys, we made the greatest decision.
We out here at the bar right now.
Hey, they'll send me your way soon, Coach. They'll tell me put my recruiting hat on and go talk to Coach Todd.
All right, there, man. Well, my phone about to die, y'all. We appreciate having me on, man.
All right, man. Be good.
Hey, Willow, I'm gonna take you out to eat one day too, man. Come on.
Let us know when that premiere, man. We gonna be there.
Oh yeah, October 12th, 6:30 at South Oak Cliff Auditorium.
We there.
All right, man. Let's make it happen. We love you, man. Be good, bro.
Be good,
y'all too.
Right. Now, let's talk about them goddamn Lobos.
Hey man, God, cause I know you was at the.
No, I'm just playing. He been messaging me. I told him.
Yeah, tell this DFW. This ain't tech. We don't care about it. We don't care about that. That was last week. we ain't even be talking about them damn Lobos all the time.
He said because they play all the DFW teams.
They do. They playing Florida this week. That's a big game. I want to see what my little homie gonna do.
I'm going down there to see it.
Yeah. I'm very interested in what J.O. do. I think J.O. I think they're gonna be able to score on Longview, but I don't think they got enough defense to hold Longview. So that's gonna
California.
That's at Longview. So you already know they're gonna get all the home cooking. They're gonna get it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. We already know.
Hey, Jeremy, I got a question. Are we having a live broadcast with crowds that can just come on and watch us work, or do they really work?
With who?
Well, okay. Here's my question. I've been watching a certain person on this podcast watch a game the whole night, haven't said anything, and I'm just curious: is that guy a member of the crowd, or is he a member of the staff? Does he have a pass to be here? How did he get backstage? I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir, in the green shirt. Did you come here to work today, or did you come here to watch TV? What we doing?
Oh, it's Sunday night.
I'm telling you, Ryan really didn't want to come on. I think I might have shamed him. He wasn't gonna come on. I think I might have shamed him to come on. He wasn't coming on.
Hey man,
both. You didn't have to shame him. You did not have to do that. You should have just let
football.
Hey, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ron. I'm watching the same game.
When the last time have y'all have y'all watched two northern sector dogs go at it?
We haven't, and that's what and we got to make our way up there, man. We really do.
So look, next week, I'm gonna tell you the game I think to be at is obviously Allen and Guy.
Oh,
It's in Denton. It's at Denton Stadium. Next, not this coming Friday. Friday after we got McKinney this week. Then after that, be out in Denton. That'll be the game to go to.
That
Guys,
is a good game.
yep, both will be undefeated in district. Both be top 10 in the state, whatever it is. So if y'all can make a game, that's gonna be the one.
That'll be the game. That'll be the game. Cause Will been complaining that we don't
I have
go.
been complaining.
We don't go out enough. So I said, fine. Now we're gonna have this conversation. We ain't gonna do it on air about the games this week because we need to know. Do you want to go see Boswell and North Crowley? Cause you want to see North Crowley just as much as Horn.
Well, I don't want to see Boswell because they lost.
No, I think did they lose?
Lost, yes, and I think they got blew out.
I thought they played and Crowley didn't play. North Crowley didn't play.
So what's the deal? Because we scrimmaged North Crowley.
And y'all got y'all asses kicked.
Who did?
That's what I heard.
Let me just say something real quick to an Alito fan in the group. Ain't nobody checking for y'all, Otis.
Hold on. Hold on.
No. He Burleson Centennial.
When we play,
nobody checking for them either.
When we scrimmaged North Crowley, we took the ball. We took the ball, no kick, put it right at the 20-yard line, and marched the ball all the way down the field. Absolutely no problem. Scored a quick touchdown. From that point on, our starters did not go back into the game on offense. They came out and put their offense on. We 3 and out at them boys 2 times. We took our defensive starters off, and then the rest was it. I left the scrimmage after that because we had Bosco next week, so I knew they weren't trying to show too much. But that's what that was.
Maybe
North Crowley, come on now.
Because Bosco, y'all didn't show nothing that day either.
Yeah, Bosco. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
See, that's the thing. That's another thing, man. I got to start asking. Next year, I'm when we go to the fall practices and all that, I'm asking questions like, why do a scrimmage if you're not gonna play your guys? Like,
well, it's the same deal as, I mean, hell, you'd hate to get somebody hurt in the scrimmage, right? So you normally give them scripted plays and go so much, but shit, we couldn't afford to get nobody hurt. When you got Bosco coming in,
y'all got 1 million people at y'all school. Y'all could spare body.
Y'all should have more depth than anybody.
We got depth. We got depth, but having depth don't always mean having talent. And that's what a lot of people get mixed up. They think like,
so y'all only got 11 good people at Allen. Is that what you're saying?
We don't have the D1s y'all have.
Who is y'all?
I'm just the southern sector have.
Okay, first of all, how many?
Will you wrong? Mark said
hold on. Yeah, I can't say y'all because are you with Crowley or are you with Alito?
Who, me?
Yeah, who you for? I'm just asking. Like,
I ain't for nobody.
Oh, okay. So you and well,
I like North Crowley though. I thought Boswell lost. Okay, well, cool. If they ain't lost, then I'm definitely gonna go to that game. I like North Crowley, by the way.
I do too. I'm very impressed with North Crowley.
So my question is I kind of heard y'all mention this earlier. Is a lot of people leaving Alito and going over to North Crowley? Because I haven't seen Alito down like this in a long time.
Well, so from what I've heard, and this is just from what I've heard, I can't speak facts to this. So, is that a lot of kids are leaving Alito and are starting to go to North Crowley and to some of the other schools, Everman and things like that. And I think the migration is because of the charismatic personalities of both of those.
Going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of the head coaches will have strong, real good personalities, and I think a lot of kids are starting to be attracted to those schools again.
Hey, shout out to my man Damien.
I'm not the smartest man in the world, and I'm not. But please explain to me how a 4-2 team down.
Who is 4-2? Alito?
I'm just curious.
Because they usually 6-0.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying that.
No, what would you ask? Could you say that again?
I seen that same Alito team lose to Cedar Hill and blew out everybody else the rest of the way in one state. So
No, we're talking about this team, Rod. That's like that's we're talking about this team today.
But I'm saying, how's a 4-2 team down though?
Oh, okay. So who did they lose to?
They just like sock. They lost to 2 state powers.
Who did they
They
lose
lost.
to?
One was to Parrish, right?
They lost to Parrish and Geyer. So how are they down?
What tough team had they beat?
Shoot, good question. But I'm saying how
exactly.
Well, so again,
have you ever seen Alito beat Episcopal?
Okay, watch this. First game of the season, y'all lost to Bosco. The whole damn world, man, Allen gonna be trash this year. Y'all came back the next week.
Actually, nobody. So we're not going to compare Episcopal to Bosco. We're not going to do that.
But I'm saying though, the point I'm making is when Allen lost the first game of the season, the first thing the whole world said, "Oh man, this Allen team is trash."
First of all, nobody said that Allen. Well, I don't know.
They did. They said Allen was trash.
Exactly.
That's all the time. When Duncanville lost to Mater Dei and all them, they always do that. That's normal, right?
That's
what I'm saying. Like those games, like when you play in those teams, like if you get and I hate saying this because this goes against everything I fucking believe. Oh God, sorry about that. This goes against everything I believe in.
Alito will beat Denton Ryan in 2 weeks.
Well, to me, man, and I'm saying to me because it's only to me. I don't care how many players you have that's supposed to be D1 and all this whatever. I'm just gonna say this: when we was in high school, had we had a chance to play a Don Bosco or anybody like that, we would have got with them cats. Like it would have been a different ball game than what we're seeing now. Now, granted, again, the people I played high school ball with, we all grew up together. We played together against Little League. We known each other our whole life. That was a different type of teams that we had. Now, like Coach Todd says, and like you guys say, y'all got kids transferring in and out, whatever. But a school like Don Bosco, or even a school like South Lake Carroll, you got your kids from 4th and 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? And even Bosco, if I can go get the most talented players in the country that's over there, I'm going to go get them. That's why I can't understand why, if there are all these private schools, Episcopal doing it, they starting to get really good players and they beat Alito, right?
But see, I will say this. If we talk about schools down, that's when you talk about the Cedar Hills and Eunice Trinity.
Look, no, hold on. When I say down, I'm used to hearing Alito undefeated right now and blowing the doors off of everybody. So I don't mean that.
Nobody said
when I say down, that's exactly what I mean. I'm just used to this side when all I hear about is like I don't never even hear about till this year. That's why I'm asking with the North Crowley, because really, to be honest with you, if we want to go even deeper, I don't even know, and y'all can school me on this, what teams are good or what teams are worth going to go watch over in Fort Worth.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, go ahead. I'm sorry, Rod.
North Crowley started out 4-0 last year. DeSoto brought them back to life, and it went downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
So North Crowley was always on that rise. That coaching staff they have now, that's why they are where they are. They have the coaching staff now to elevate them to be great. That's the difference.
Are they better than Alito?
Yeah.
North Crowley is?
Okay, so would you have said that last year?
No.
Would you have said that the year before?
No.
So this ain't the same Alito team?
No.
Okay, so they down, right?
They're young. They're young.
Okay, I put it like this. Because this Centennial team is good. They putting up points. They kick. So we're gonna find out if Centennial for real or Alito really taking a step back, because they got to play an undefeated team that's been blowing the doors off teams, right?
This week they play them this coming week.
See, that's why I was thinking about going to that game or to the North Crowley Boswell game. But I know that's a battle of 2 undefeated teams, and that's big.
J-Man,
right?
I want you to pull up stats from last year. and the year before.
Why I got? We're not dealing
Wait,
with
wait,
last year, Rob. We're dealing with right
watch this.
now.
Centennial has never been sorry. Centennial has always came into this game as a one loss or an loss team, and that Alito team beat the hell out of them. Point
Okay,
blank.
so first of all, I've never heard of Centennial. So
Me neither. Is this Frisco Centennial?
I'm
Y'all
just
talking about Frisco Centennial?
I'm just throwing
No,
it out there,
Burleson.
right?
Burleson.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. No disrespect to Centennial at all. Just never heard of them. Again,
Alito has
we
always
know
been
Alito.
every year.
We know Alito. And the expectations for Alito is always going to be the expectations for Alito. That was no different than the conversation we was having about Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Our expectations for Allen, you know what I'm saying, is to be playing in a state championship game and or a game away every single year. That's the expectation. Right. So when they don't go past the third and fourth round, whoa, what's wrong with Allen? That's always going to be the question. You know what I mean? So and when you look at Alito, it's the same thing. Wow, what's wrong with Alito? You know what I'm saying? Then when you start hearing people say, well, those kids are going to Everman. But then you look at Everman and see what Everman's doing. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, those kids are going to North Crowley. But you see what North Crowley doing. Oh, that makes sense. So yes, they're not the same Alito team. There's nothing wrong with it, you know.
I mean, you can't stay on top.
You got Alito beating Ryan in 2 weeks?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Now you tell me which one is the bigger game.
That's
Since you from the north, is it gonna be Ryan Alito a bigger game or is Guy Allen a bigger game?
It's for two reasons. For one, yeah, Guy and Allen, that's gonna be sold out. It was last year. It's gonna be sold out again this year. I would say that because a lot of the reason is because, well, if you go off a record, Alito's record isn't so normal. Alito, neither is Ryan's, and Ryan isn't playing to the Ryan that we know them to be playing at. You get what I'm saying? So when you have by next week, I imagine we'll both, us and Guy, be in the top 5, top 6, 7, maybe somewhere around there. We both top 10 right now. So if we take the wins and losses, I don't know who all won and who all lost from this week. I ain't even went over all of that. But then this coming week, it's gonna be Guy and Allen for sure.
So tell me this, Rod. Do you expect Alito to win state in Division 1 5A this year?
Argyle.
No, Argyle D2.
Oh, D1?
Do you expect
Lancaster?
So you expect Lancaster over Longview?
Lancaster's going to defeat Longview the second time around. I just want the whole world to know that.
They not.
Mesquite Stadium.
They
no
not.
Refs, no home cooking. Lancaster's going to get over the hump.
Hey, look, Lancaster, my pick on it, okay? Again, I went and watched both of them play. I ain't seen both of them play in 2 years. Just my pick on it and the energy from I said on one half on the Lancaster side, me and Jesse the first half, and then Longview the second half, and just the energy that I got, I felt like Lancaster threw everything they could at Longview. I know they came out in a total different 5 wide, drove the ball down there after they had originally got a 3 and out. You know what I'm saying? Momentum was just on their side the whole first half. But Lancaster could never just pull away. And they let Longview stay around. And I don't feel like – and Longview, Longview literally, number 4, I forgot his name. He had 2 picks. He dropped 3. And I'm talking about hit him in his hands, right? So we talking that number 6, I forgot his name. He the free safety. He had 1 pick. He dropped 1 in their hand. They should have had, like, I know it's all part of the game. I totally get it, bro. But I'm talking about, like, 8, 9 picks hitting them in the hand. And I just felt like the energy that I got from the whole deal, it looked like Lancaster came out through everything they had, but Longview never played their best game.
But Lancaster should get some credit for that, though, right? For them not playing the best game.
I'm not a fan of either. I'm not a fan of either one.
I'm just saying. You said
watch,
Longview
but
didn't
I
play
was
their best game. I'm saying maybe Lancaster is the reason they didn't play their best game.
maybe.
Well, I think they are though. I mean, look, all I know is Lancaster came out and gave Longview everything they asked for and more. And then on top of that, it just came down to, like I said, the best player on that field was that kid, the running back. And when he has 28 carries for 187 yards, and your whole team on offense only has 286 yards of total offense, you know, you can't ask much more from Lancaster's defense. Lancaster offense, yeah, they should have capitalized and made took advantage of opportunities they had. But that's what you got to do when you going down to Longview and you playing in East Texas. Like you got to make those plays. And to me, that game in Longview would have been different if that game went in Longview. I think it'd have played a big part if that game went in Longview.
That's why I would ride. I think that's what makes the difference.
Hey, J Mac,
that game go through. You know what I'm saying? It may be a different ball game.
Coach Ward, what's going on, man? I see you chimed in.
Real quick.
Yeah, man. Y'all, when y'all start, I should have chimed in last week on y'all quarterback talk. When y'all
made Todd chime in tonight.
Yeah. See, when y'all start having certain conversations and enough people don't have accurate information, we gonna chime in as fans and make sure we keep y'all up with like y'all talking about Centennial. Centennial is a triple option team. That has been they were Division II 5A. They were in the district with Toledo for years. They never beat them. They always played them tough. So now they having a year that they typically would have. You know what I'm saying? They still got to prove it and beat Ryan and Toledo. That's Burleson Centennial. I remember you was like, "What Centennial are we talking about?" Yeah. I ain't never even heard of these dudes.
Okay.
I was like, "Man, put me on the show, man. Let me help my boy."
Say, but hold on. But that makes now okay. So I'm gonna say this. That makes more sense when you say that they've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Because if you run in the triple option at any level, you know what I'm saying, high school, college, whatever. It takes so much time to prepare for that that if you don't see that every day, you're gonna struggle against it. So
and what makes them different is they do it with black athletes. So the player that's in motion going around back, he might got a little something. You know what I'm saying? It's not your typical school that's running triple. They don't have to run that. That's what they run. You know what I'm saying? I think the head coach has some type of military background. We played them 2017 in the second round. I think the year we lost to, it was my second year at SOC. The year we lost to Poteet in the third round.
They blew out Kimball 2 years ago too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they be. I mean, they pretty good. I think they went 3 rounds. About 4 or 5 years ago. They typically are what they are right now. They thing is no different than ours. It's getting over that hump of these caliber teams that we talking about.
And so
once they can beat one of them teams, they'll be fine. But they haven't done it today. Or not within the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they got Alito this week. So I guess we're gonna find out if they for real or maybe Alito ain't what
they used to be. But that's what I'm saying. So that goes back to it. That's what I'm saying. It's like Alito is one of them schools, man, where everybody gonna judge themselves off of. You know what I mean?
They're the standard. They got the most state championships in Texas history.
For real.
So when you see an Alito team that is 4-2, yes, that is cause of concern when you're talking about a team in a community historically has dominated people. You know what I'm saying? So, you go, well, that's not the same Alito because it's not. You know what I mean? You can turn on the film and see that it's not.
Yeah.
So here's a funny thing though, Ward. So I got a chance this Saturday, man, to go to the Grambling Prairie View game. And I gotta tell you my experience, okay? So I'm at the game, we on the sideline.
Hey, and I ain't standing on here with y'all all night, J Mac.
Okay, no,
I
Hey
no,
just
no.
man,
want to chime in on some good conversation for a
yeah,
second. I'm not
you the
moving.
one chimed in at 10:30, bro. That wasn't me.
Hey,
And
I was great
you know how these shows, Ryan.
listening to y'all.
I mean,
Go ahead. My bad, Will.
But we gonna keep it about 15 minutes, and then we all go to bed.
yes,
Man,
yes. I typically get real sleepy and ignorant at this time. So, so I'm at the game, right? And I'm like really enjoying. I'm just taking it in again. I'm at a HBCU game, and last game I've been at, you coaches. So you looking at it different, you seeing it different. But I got a chance to meet one of my favorite players and people in the whole wide world. Like, that is the first from my mind. So I'm sitting there, and so I got introduced to Eric Metcalf, right?
Okay.
So I'm telling you, and my whole infatuation with the number two. And I was told him, I said, I want number two in Little League football because of you. I was a big scat back, and so we was watching, and he was sitting there, and he
Hey,
goes,
that's true
hey, yeah, when
story.
I told him, he died laughing. It's all true though. So I'm sitting there, man, and I'm like, and so we sitting there, and we just started laughing, talking about ball. And so we watched the game. He goes, you know what? I said, what's up? He said, man, a lot of bad ball.
It's
game
levels.
off.
Hey man, it's levels to everything. People, because of our affiliations and biases, we try to ignore the fact. Like Will, when you talking about the Boscos and the Modern Days and the IMGs and the St. Francis's, they are able to pull the most talented kids nationally, not in the city, not in the state. National. It's levels, dog. It is. It's different, and that ain't saying could somebody compete? Yeah, but for one of our teams to compete with a team that's built like that, it would have to be a perfect storm. You know what I'm saying? We would have to have, like you talking about, one of those super talented teams that we put together from time to time. And I'm talking about we as in the state of Texas, that we put together from time to time with experience and the right coaching staff. It ain't just a talent thing. You know what I mean? Because we finna play DeSoto, and I remember turning on that film, and the first play, DeSoto had that kick return that got caught early. And I remember the first thing I saw, I wasn't even looking for it. That DN and in his stance, I didn't even have to see a play. So one of them St. Francis kids I know now is going to LSU. You looked at it, you like, oh Lord, like look at this kid. It's a different type of cat. Like he was in his stance, Will, and it was like, oh yeah, I know he's a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's just when you're able to put them kind of teams together, holistically, year in and year out, it's always gonna be a different level. And we all root for our teams, whomever they may be, but man, it's levels. I mean, it is, and that's why I understand what you're saying about Alito, because the team that Rod brought up, they had two cats that's playing at Alabama right now on that team on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when people say Alito is down, being on Mount Olympus ain't necessarily an insult. You know what I mean?
That's what I think everybody was saying. I don't know what
That's not
Rod
necessarily
took it.
an insult.
People were saying that they suck, but we just said, yeah, they 4-2, but we used to them being 6-0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They losing in non-district for Alito, and them Alito fans will chime in at some point. But
now they boycott us.
The last time I remember was I remember them losing to Lake Travis when Jonathan Gray was there. I remember the Cedar Hill COVID year game that they picked up at the last second. Something happened with Allen and Cedar Hill or something, and then Cedar Hill picked up Alito. And then it's one game in between. But outside of that, I don't remember them losing non-district. We talking about Jonathan Gray was there, what, 11?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about more than 10 years. So when they saying they down, it ain't an insult. I don't think it's an insult. I mean, I saw them on film because we played Paris, and they played them first game. Yeah, and I think they are different, difference makers. As far as what BJ was saying, people are saying about the kids. I don't think the kids are going different places. I think them kids ain't leaving where they at. Because initially, that's what I mean. It ain't too different from Allen. You know what I'm saying? Up north, you have more options than my wife went to Allen. You know what I'm saying? So I followed Allen for a little while now, and I got some friends that went there. And I think you're dealing with a new demographic of the landscape up north for Allen. You know, when you are the team where everybody wants to go there within a 20-mile radius, it is what it is. When you start getting other options, you know, you may say black kids and there are some black coaches, which is what Will was talking about. He ain't said, but you know, I said, you know, Crowley, Everman, they got black coaches and they have charismatic black coaches. So now you're not talking about dealing with the same thing of losing certain kids that you may have lost. It's something, you know, McKinney has shavers, you know, Lone Star is always going to pluck from the litter. They always have. Like when the back left, Allen went to IMG, came back, went to Lone Star. Lovejoy with Chris Ross. That's an option. That was why the last guy everybody was hot because he was losing kids to Lovejoy, and Lovejoy broke off from Allen. You can't lose kids to little brother. You know, like let's So I think Allen is dealing with a different landscape, just like Alito is finna start trying to adjust to this landscape. Does that mean either team will be as successful? Nah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think that means it. I think Allen got to find stability within the coaching staff first.
For sure. That's exactly what I was telling them.
That's
exactly what I was telling them.
When you build it, you know, we talk about, Ty was talking about Emmett and Sock, but if you go even further back, the two hires before that were progressive hires at Sock. So building something, Gilbert, then Kendall Miller, then Emmett, then Ty. So it's been progressive hires. Allen was the same way from Ty Graham to Blam to Blam. Like it went that way, and it was all within the tree where now you kind of in uncharted territory, you know, as a program. And I think they kind of trying to figure it out. You know, Chad Morris, that situation went how it went. Now you got a guy that's kind of outside of it. So now you got to put his thing on it. And it's going to take some time to get your feet under you, but they ain't finna be trash because of it. Because again, like I said,
I think he there to stay this time. Nobody expected Morris to stick around. I don't think nobody expected him to stick around.
If they did, they didn't know how it all worked.
Geyer has beat them twice at home. Were they talking about Allen?
No, that's Alito.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Alito. Yeah, but I mean, Geyer is one of them teams that was dropping down and up. You know what I mean? That was before.
Yeah.
Before 5A split. You know, the Walsh titles were in 5A. So they were down and up. Like Timberview was. You can go schools when you drop initially. That's kind of how it is. And they were playing each other. And I remember they blew Geyer blew them out in the playoffs one year. But, you know, Geyer one of them exceptions. You know, Alito ain't, you're not finna name no team Alito done lost to outside of us that's not considered a perennial power. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though, Cal, is I remember watching you guys play Alito, and I was there recruiting Wheeler. I saw Wheeler, and you guys was playing in it was in the playoffs.
Midlothian. That was the first time we
played. Okay, so in Midlothian, I remember that. And there was a rain delay too, wasn't it?
It was 3 hours. We started to have the UIL rule was if it passed 12 o'clock, you got to go to the next day. We started at 11:55. We refused to go home because the game would have had to start at I think 10 because the refs was already booked. And you know that's the part of it. People like they should have went to the next day, man. Getting them kids back to that school, leaving the school at 1:30. Some of them where's they going? You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna go to sleep? Then get them back up there at 6. Who gonna feed them in short notice? Like them the kind of stuff you're like, nah, we ain't going home. It's gonna have to hit 12 o'clock before we go home.
Right.
We gonna finish this tonight.
Yeah.
It was about 3 hours.
When I saw that game, man, the one thing that I noticed, by the way, Matt, to see these one of the things that Allen wouldn't have had to worry about. They could have played that game the next morning.
Easily.
So Cliff got different issues if that happens.
We ain't going home. We got to.
We going home.
Right. So
get in that king size bed.
Yeah.
Hey, the team mom's gonna be up there bright and early. They gonna hit Walmart as soon as it open. They gonna wait like it's Black Friday.
Breakfast platter with full course breakfast. Man, y'all chill out. Yeah.
But no, man. But one of the things that I learned, and I kind of saw, it was kind of cool because I kind of saw a shift in the mentality. When y'all played that game, like my man said, y'all should have won that game. You know what I'm saying? And I know we don't play for should haves and whatever, but to me, that game was so good that what it did was it kind of set you guys up for the taking the next step in order to get to where you need to go along your pattern.
We weren't. I can honestly say, Will, in my honest opinion, if we somehow pull that game out, I don't think we were ready to finish it at that point as a program. And I'm saying finish it like we finished it last year after we won.
Correct.
Losing to Frisco them next 2 years, like these programs come in stages. Like Ty Graham didn't win the title at Allen. You know what I'm saying? He kind of laid the foundation and had the relationship with the administration where it kind of got going. It's the step. I think Kyler Murray skipped them forward some years. You know what I'm saying? When you get an exceptional talent, but it wasn't just him. Like if we talk, Allen is in the top cats in the league right now, and almost all of them Negroes was on that team.
Came from that era.
Like some of them teams, it's some cats going on their 15th year, some cats going on their night. Like no, Allen's cats was on that team. You know what I'm saying? And it was a perfect mix of it. And people lose sight. You know, I was listening. I was messing with J-Mac this week, you know, on the and Swagger with this your fault. Because I was looking at the post about, you know, all of the Southside champions. And it's like, you know, I'm a Dallas guy to the heart. I want Dallas to win. But you can't mention people who ain't won first round games in a conversation like that. It totally makes the point irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? That I want Carter to go 5-6 rounds and win it, or Lincoln or Hutch or whomever. But you know, it's a process. You don't go from not winning the first round game a few years to winning a title. Like that ain't how this thing works. The program learns in stages. You take some big losses, you come back, you look in the mirror, you say, okay, we're gonna fix this. Then you get over that little hump. Then it's another little hump. You know, that takes years, dog. It does. It takes years to build. Getting into the playoffs is a process for some people. You know what I'm saying?
I will tell you this.
And I know you're a Carter homer.
Like
so
I
already know.
Like I gonna tell J-Mac earlier. District 848 got number 1 ranked in the state, Anna. Number 3 ranked in the state, Kaufman, Surface Springs, and Paris.
Hold on. Wait, I'm gonna come back to you. How you feel, BJ, that Anna number 1 in the state with the superintendent's son from Allen?
Ooh, that's crazy.
Real. You hear me? We gonna get to the real, Will.
Hold on. Hey, repeat that again.
Man.
The quarterback for Anna is the superintendent from Anna's son.
Okay, so he don't believe in Allen. Okay, no, I got it.
That's why I asked BJ, how you feel about this now?
I'm telling you, the last coach, you said it best. That's exactly what I told them. The biggest deal is the coaching stability up here, because everybody still don't know what to think. You know what I'm saying? I like I said when we first got on here, I firmly believe, and I think everybody, I know everybody in the city, everybody down here in the community, everybody wanted Shavers to get that job. You know what I'm saying? He hear from Allen, and I think things would have been a whole lot smoother going on. You know what I'm saying? But right now we
you
all
think Allen ready for that?
Hell no, that's why he didn't get it.
No, Allen's got. They ready for him, because you got to know Shavers from here, and Shavers played.
I know that.
And Shavers played. Me and him played each other and all of that. It was back in 2004. It's more of us out here now than never.
I'm gonna give you,
know
this.
What I'm saying?
On Allen's coaching staff,
Mm-hmm.
the first time I saw a black varsity assistant was 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I have been watching Allen since about 2007. So
Coach
to say
Wig,
they might be ready for a black head coach, I think is extreme.
So
and his son was the DN, by the way.
And he's from Allen, and he went to Arkansas. So everything that you say that they be looking for, he had, and he ain't the coach. Dude, they ain't ready for no black head coach.
Yeah,
no. I don't. I like I said, I really think the community is as a whole who up there in the admin and all of that stuff. I agree with you. They not ready, and especially because Marcus Shavers ain't just your typical. He finna walk in here with a whole different type of energy
and you got to understand what a black coach, when administration ain't ready for it, you got to understand what he walked into.
Yep.
That's tough.
Hey, BJ, real quick. Another thing I forgot to point out a while ago, man, while we talking this subject. Another hot game this year, Anna and Kaufman.
When is that?
I gotta look it up. I might go to that one. I gotta look that.
See, Coach, I'm trying to bring y'all up here to the north. Y'all gotta come watch it. We play ball up here too, man.
I got you. But I kind of want to go back to what Cal just said before. Repeat what you just said, Cal, when you was talking to BJ about the coach.
Oh, you talking about when the administration ain't ready?
Yeah.
When the community can want what they want, but when the administration ain't ready, the community can pressure administration into a hire. We've seen that several times all over the city. But when the administration ain't ready, man, they make it, especially for us, they make it really hard because you got to be perfect. And you really, the first black hire at a place normally is not a cat like Shavers, even though he's from Allen. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Exactly.
That ain't no.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think they would be ready, but I don't know if they ready for a Shavers. You know what I'm saying?
So, but he's the head coach of Sherman now, right?
McKinney.
No, McKinney.
How are they
doing? 5-1. Hey, they 5-1, and Allen got to see them too.
Okay.
Hey, real quick.
That might be a good game. That sounds like
we see them this week. We see them.
That's this week. Oh no, next week.
No, that's this week.
Hey, real quick.
This week we play McKinney. Next week we play Guy. The following week we play Prosper.
Oh yeah,
the game is October 14th in Anna.
Oh, so that's next week.
October 14th. Yeah, that's next. So all the games next week: Allen Geyer, Anna Kaufman.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a game.
Lito.
Say, when is Duncanville DeSoto?
Damn,
that's 28.
That's 28.
Hey, I got a question real quick. Somebody, because I'm glad y'all brought that back up. Put something on my mind. How is Duncanville Waxahachie a game?
What do you mean?
That game.
42.
It's a reason why we're going to North Crowder Friday.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that.
I think it's styles of play. Will sometimes
I'll be in Frisco Friday.
I remember when Bama beat Notre Dame like they stole something, but it was only 30 points.
Did you just say you going to Carter Frisco Panther?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a meeting about it. We're gonna have to have a meeting about swag.
We didn't authorize that. Nobody
that wasn't even on the list. We can't interview Carter every week.
First of all, again, Carter is not to be interviewed until they win a playoff game.
Nah, I can tell you, Swaggy, we're gonna break that. He ain't buying
already broke that.
You're not interviewing no more Carter people till they win the playoff game, or they beat Salina. They beat Salina, you can interview. They don't beat Salina, and they don't win the playoff game, they're not to get interviewed no more.
Why would you want to go to that Frisco to see that? When this man just said, Allen, if you're gonna be up there, wouldn't you go see Allen and McKinney?
Let me see.
No, I ain't gonna let me see. See, you know what, Coach? We're gonna have a conversation about this after hours, right? We're gonna let you.
It's next week. It's next week. That whole district on the bye.
What game?
Allen McKinney. It's next week. The whole district on the bye this week.
Okay, you right.
I just looked it up.
Okay, Rod, you got saved,
That's the 14th.
but that's still a better
Still
game.
not going to that game. You still,
Okay,
we're gonna probably
who
no.
y'all playing this week, Coach?
We got Kimball.
That's
So
where
That's
you
the
going.
biggest
Right?
game.
That's where you going. You going to Kimball side, right?
I mean, if you gonna watch bad football, stay in the hood.
I don't want to see that blowout, man.
Don't waste your gas so bad.
Hey man, it's a dude. The homie, his son played for Lebanon Trail, and he keep telling me, man, you gotta come watch us play. I said, look, man, I ain't gotta travel. I ain't gotta drive an hour to go watch bad football, bro. I stay right here.
I can pull up at the EDINC Stadium and I'm good.
I live right down the street from Kincaid, man. I can watch a big game.
So what?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Walk right in.
It hurts my heart to be referred to as bad football. Lord have mercy.
Hey,
Hold on, Coach. Before you say that, let me show you the thing. That way you won't say I'm picking on you.
It hurt my heart.
It is what it is.
That I if you want, he ain't got to drive to Frisco to see that right there. Do it.
It is what it is. I mean, I can't.
Hey, you want a secret? I ain't missed a Carter game in probably over 15 years.
Well, you're gonna miss one.
No.
So, okay. So you should just go start your own network.
Hey.
No, he need to be hollering at Lamb and be the official voice of the Cowboys.
Yeah, go be the Carter correspondent. You're guaranteed to work 11 weeks out the year.
Somebody said true, so they know.
And you'll never miss a Thanksgiving.
Huh?
And you always got time to go to the second round.
Oh, I lied. I missed one this year. I missed the Houston Yates game. So my streak got broke.
Yeah, we ain't finna worry about it before this thing get off the railroad track.
But nah, I'm going to North Carolina. You hear me? I'm going to North Carolina for real though.
Who North Carolina got?
I'd rather go see Sock Kimball before I go see Panther Creek. They won one game, dude. They 1-5.
This their first year. They the newest Frisco school. This
right. And Hutch beat them down.
No, they didn't.
This the first everything.
What was the score of the Hutch game?
27-21. Won with 22 seconds left.
Hutch won.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to holler at is D Strick still yeah, I know I'm gonna have to holler at over at Hutch.
Oh, the score was 27-21.
Yeah, they won with 22 seconds left.
Okay.
They must let them come back because I could have sworn they was up more than that.
I'm absolutely not going to go watch that game.
But now I'll be in North Carolina, man. I want to be in a new stadium again. That was fun.
Yeah, watch it. See, Will just went off on us about bad football. And about watching, about going to these games.
Ain't no pushover though.
What you talking about?
Huh?
What you talking about?
I'm talking North Carolina game. I said,
first, sir, you was talking about that quarter and Prairie Creek.
Prairie Creek.
Panther Creek.
Creek.
Oh, okay, my bad. Little house on the prairie. I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just
look
saying.
at Courtney. Courtney said, I was at the Sock and Allison game. I feel your pain. See, you know.
But see, them diehards, they used to it, dog. And they ain't mad at like Courtney and even you, dog. I respect the fact that you go to Emory.
Yeah. I respect it too.
I respect it because you don't miss it. I take your word about Carter more than I see a lot of the alumni that be on here beating their chest talking about Carter. Because I know you there.
We don't know.
I know you there.
I can't say nothing bad about them. They ended my high school career.
What school?
Carter did.
What school?
Right school.
I was at Berkeley.
Oh, you played at Berkeley?
Yeah, with me, Keeb, and all of us. Y'all played y'all in 03.
Oh.
I
got the advanced what in 04, 05, one of them?
Yeah, 05. Yeah. Josh Johnson and Jeff Johnson.
At the Cowgirls old stadium.
Cowgirl.
Yeah.
See how we going off the track. See, we were doing good. Everything. Hey, we won today. You worry about winning tomorrow.
We got to win tomorrow.
We were doing good until. Oh Lord Jesus! All right,
Cal,
fellas,
I
we for the head off.
Yeah, man. Cal, before we get ready to get out of here, and I'm glad that you came on the show because this is the most active Swaggy being all day.
Now you know when I see Swaggy, I'm a poke at him.
Hey,
You got to.
That's my boy.
This man, and he sat up there and said bowling. We over here talking about going to games. This man said bowling. I'm going to Frisco.
Hold on, J Mac. Is that a Bryant Young jersey?
It is.
It is, and it's for his little dog.
That's class. See that? Go back to what Todd said about Carter. See, we gotta update you, man.
Come on, what you're not gonna do, Cal Ward, is talk about Carter on this thing.
He played in 95. he got a baby jersey of a cat that played in 95.
Hey, that's the last time Carter had. That's the last time Carter had something.
Forget about it.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, there you go. All right, Jimmy G. All right, you got it. What you was finna ask me, Will?
I don't know because this totally.
Well, real quick. That's what I was trying to get at. So what's the deal with Carter? Like all of a sudden, because I literally just realized they dropped down to 4A.
They ain't just. They've been down there for a minute.
Hey, we've been there since shit.
Yeah, my son was there. They were 4A. Yeah, they've been there for a minute.
What was it? 2006, 2007?
Hey, we all bought a 3A. We didn't call for 3A.
Yeah.
Hey, which don't make it any better. So that's okay. So we're not gonna do this. I'm not gonna have this because I do realize that I may be hating, and that may be a part of me just being a hater right now. I understand that, and however, I watch football.
All right.
And at the end of the day, until they can decide that they're gonna get out the first round of this playoffs, and okay, when you get ready to go play a team, and I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at that team's schedule, and I go look at their huddle, and y'all supposed, and it's 2 weeks left to go before the playoffs start, but they already know they finna play you. So what they do is they put, and it was Melissa. So Melissa put Carter on the schedule. Then they went the week after that and said who they was gonna play the next week. Now this is before the playoffs even started. So what I was like, dang, that's some disrespectful stuff. But when I saw the game and it was like 63-14, I was like, oh, I understand why they.
I'm gonna say this. I'm keeping
Somebody answer the man question. He just asked what happened.
Okay, I answer it because
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
No,
Cal, you answer that question.
I got it.
I'm a hater.
Let me go back. All right. So Todd kind of already talked about the that last year when they what was that, 94, right? That was 94 season.
They lost to DeSoto. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it, third round, second round, one up.
Third.
Carter didn't get past the first round again until Allen Wilson, which was one of the years you talking about, BJ. I want to say 05.
No,
03.
03.
Oh, no. Because I played them 03. They knocked us out. 02, they beat our rival. They beat Lake Highlands with Franklin.
No, that wasn't 02. 02 season was my senior year.
You know what? You're right. 02. We lost the Longview.
Yeah, they lost first round to the East Texas team in 02.
No, I take that back. 02, we defeated Garland. We beat Garland in the first round.
You sure?
No, I think we lost to Garland.
We lost to Garland in the
When did y'all play? When did y'all play?
In the preseason and beat them in the playoffs.
Yep.
So,
what year we lose the fourth round to Leander?
That was my year.
No. That was my year. No, that was my
year. Right, 03. That's the 03 year.
That was I graduated in 04, but that was season of 03 because Carter beat us, and then it came around the next week and they played South Garland, and then they lost in the third round to Leander.
Yeah.
Leander, okay.
Yeah, and then because the next round they would have came back, and then they would have had to play Allen. So in 2002, my junior year, the three that came out of our district was Allen, East, and Lake Highlands. That's when Lake Highlands had Franklin
the
graduated
02
with me.
season?
02 season.
Nah, that ain't. I'm gonna tell you why that's not right. They didn't go 4 rounds in 02. My senior year was
No. I was saying they went to the set because in 02 that season, I don't know where Carter got beat at, but I know they beat Lake Highlands on that first round.
Right.
Because Lake Highlands had God dang, I can't even think. Old boy that went to they had Jeremy Campbell, Franklin Ocam, they had Stephen Hodge. He went to he played cornerback. He went to A&M.
You know what? I got it. I got the whole thing now. We lost to Mesquite, the Skeeters, off a damn missed extra point. 28-27.
Sure did.
Who it was.
Yep.
Mesquite,
the Skeeters.
Because I remember we went 3 rounds my last year, and we lost Texas High, and Carter lost the week before, which was the second round.
Where was you at, Coach?
I went to Kimball.
Yeah, but y'all went to the semifinals though too, right? With
I mean, it was only 5 rounds. It was only 5 rounds in the smaller division.
Right,
So,
but y'all
yes,
was semifinals, yeah.
it was a quarterfinal.
Okay.
Yeah,
But didn't y'all lose semis to y'all was a game away from
Kimball has never been to the semifinals. Kimball been to the regional finals twice, and it was my senior year and the year after.
And that was under
that was Texas High.
What was my man, the head coach at that time? Was that
Daryl Jordan?
He had that thing rolling.
From Lufkin. Yep, he did.
Yeah, he had y'all rolling, boy.
Yeah, I mean, they went the 2 furthest runs in school history under him.
Yeah, he don't get no. He don't get no mention when they talk about Kimball.
Nah,
Coach Ford,
Kimball is about community.
When you graduate again?
2003.
Oh, 2003. Okay.
Yeah, Kimball is about community and relationships. So we love James Jones because of who he was. His name is on the field. But Daryl Jordan did win and take us deeper than Coach Jones did.
And Coach Brown gonna lead the big upset over Sock this week.
Hey man, more power to him. I hope Kimball great. It's gonna take time, dog.
So you gonna help him out? You gonna play the third string?
No, we're gonna play football.
And by the way,
hey, Bam was the one that this summer said October 7th. I know the date because he said it.
And by the way,
hey, so look, man, you gonna beat the hell out of Bam?
No, man, we gonna play like we play football.
Y'all gonna run the score up, Coach. Be honest. It's just between us. Everybody done left anyway.
We don't run the score up on nobody. We scored 59 points on Kimball last year, and it was 10 minutes left in the third, and we finished this game with 59 points. We not into picking on people.
I ain't saying you gonna pick on them.
No, we gonna play.
Sometimes you kind of gotta. Some games mean a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like I know you love Bam, you love Kimball. That's
I love Kimball.
Partner, you know what I'm saying?
I'm probably the most critical person. Kimball alum. Like I'm very critical of things we're doing there, and it's more the administration. I never have blamed a coach at Kimball except Chester Barnes, but that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? That I outside of that, and see that, yeah. Outside of him, I've never blamed the coach. Never. We want to use the basketball formula for football, and we got to learn what it takes for football and give support and give people hires they need and certain situations. That's what it takes to win in football, because it takes more than 2 or 3 people, coaches wise.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And so I've always been critical, but I mean I love Kimball as just as much or more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, what happened with Carter, man? After Wilson, it just went downhill. After Freddie, it went down. Wilson got it going, and then after Wilson, because Wilson didn't want
because of what Wilson was running. Like the
Wilson
thing
was
is, he was running the wing T,
right?
And that is at the time that Emmett was at Skyline with samples, and other people were doing other things, and you got to think Black Flight. So now you're talking about people. You the time period is 03 to 06, 07. That's the Black Flight to Lancaster, DeSoto, Cedar Hill, Duncanville. So you're losing kids everywhere because they don't want to play in the wing T. So when Wilson left, even though he brought him back to some 3rd round games and a 4th round game, once he was gone, there was nothing in the cupboard. You know, we seeing it at OU. They're going from a 3-3-5 to a 4-3.
Yeah.
You know, that personnel, you don't switch that in 1 year and it just magically you awesome. That don't happen that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Carter haven't rebounded since that.
Well, and that's another thing, man, is Carter.
Our WT worked because we had the athletes for it then. We had Mike Hicks.
First of all, you don't need athletes to run the wing T. So let's just start there.
We have the athletes for the wing T.
But you don't need athletes to run the wing T. And that's what he's saying is that offense. You don't need athletes to run the wing T. You mean to tell me that you want Crabtree, who is one of the most prolific cats with the ball in his hand, to be a lead blocker?
No.
But that's what he was in the wing T.
Yeah, he pitched it and get out front.
Yep.
Okay, so you don't need talent to run that because it's a systematic offense. There's no difference than when people went to the spread and started playing speed and space. They did it for lack of athletic ability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
that's what the spread came from.
That's what it came from. So when you look at a guy like Crabtree, had he been in a samples type system, he still would have been a 2,000-yard rusher because in his simple system, that's what they do. So at the end of the day, man, I think like somebody said that we should have hired samples, yes, but every coach that we've hired, except for Pac-Man, has been from East Texas.
Yeah, I don't. But do we really think? Because at that time, like Wilson, that like when right before he left, Skyline had overtook Carter. Do we really think? Think Samples would have left Skyline to go to Carter when he had already overtaken?
We're saying they should have hired Samples when they hired
Wilson.
When they hired Wilson, coming from Lincoln.
I mean, at the time, 2020, it's hindsight is 2020. At the time, Samp hadn't done nothing yet.
Well, he just came from Lincoln going to the state championship too, though.
Nah, Wilson got hired before my senior season. My junior year, the guy named Walton was the head coach. I believe it was Walton. No. It was Sedberry. No, it was Sedberry. Sedberry was the coach my junior year. My senior year, he got it. So if you process that, Lincoln had just started kind of going 9-1, 10-1, 8-2, 8. You know what I'm saying? That Samples hadn't done anything yet to get the job. Yeah, y'all see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody now in hindsight, of course, we should have hired Samples.
Well, but I still say you should have hired Samples, and here's why. Because if you look at it, like Coach Wilson was a great hire because he's who he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes his success came from one city town teams. You know what I'm saying? And even when he got to John Tyler, you only really had Tyler Lee that you was competing with. Yeah, and John Tyler was a school that everybody went to. I'm just saying that sometimes when you have that same mentality and you come here, Carter defense got specifically worse. The moment they came here, the defense was awful. They played man every single time. And I remember the time they played Richardson, they played y'all, and they had that running back, that quarterback that had a knee brace on his knee, and he could barely run, and he rushed for 100-some yards and beat Carter because they had their corners lined up with their backs to the what's the name?
Josh Johnson.
Yeah. Okay. So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, Carter, to me, Carter, when Coach Wilson left and that offense wasn't attractive, and then when, like you said, when Emmett and everybody else was starting to go through the spread, I remember the quarterback at Atwell. I'll never forget this kid and then we were standing at the bottom of Kincaid, and I said, "Hey man, you going to Carter?" He's like, "Nah, I'm not going to Carter. I'm gonna go to Skyline." And his dad like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to Skyline, man. And they run the spread. He gonna throw the ball around." I was like, "So you do realize they only run the spread to run the ball?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, he had to figure out they run the spread." Talk to the same dad a couple years later, man. Y'all at Skyline? Nah, we want to do something else, man. All they want to do is run the ball. Really? And that's when Stoudemire was coming out that 2,000 yards, and then Kincaid was coming through running the ball the way he was. And Jay Hall was really one of the most complete quarterbacks of Skyline, or even came through the district in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So to me, Carter is again, the talent level at Carter at 3A, at 4A, the talent level that they're at now, they should be competing a lot more. I look at them and I watch them and I see how they are. And to me, I went to the Liberty ILO game. How do you lose to Liberty ILO? You know what I'm saying? To me, Carter just got to figure out a way to get past the first round. And I blame Jay for that.
We lost that game because our quarterback got hurt with a damn concussion, and they put him back in the game, and he fumbled the very next play because he didn't know what the hell he was.
Coach, you lost that game. You lost that game when y'all was coming down, going back and forth, and you couldn't stop Liberty ILO from scoring.
Yep.
And when you try to sit there and hold the clock and milk the clock and run the ball instead of keep going down and scoring because you couldn't stop them, that's where you lost the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to stop. Listen, man, there are some plays where we was playing Waco. It's a game that we brought up that I want to say Ty brought up when Trick White dropped the pick on the sideline. Coach Chambers particularly told everybody the play before, don't catch the ball, knock the ball down. He said that. He said it 2 to 3 times. Trick White, Robert Hawkins got hurt. Trick came in the game, saw his opportunity to make a play, caught the ball, took one step, fumbled the ball. They recovered the ball. We lost the play on the last play of the game. He knocked the ball down. Game over. We go play Permian and really probably win state. But we didn't. So it's some things you got to chalk up to bad coaching, and some things kids are just gonna be kids.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, fellas, we for the end because we over 3 hours.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. I gotta go home. Oh, I'm at home. I gotta go to sleep.
We gonna get out. We gonna get the hell out of here because y'all be talking about this for another 3 hours. Because Carter is a whole nother conversation and a whole nother show that we just probably ain't gonna never have time for.
Hey,
Carter. But bottom line is, Rod, you don't need to be going to Frisco.
Yeah, that's bottom line.
We gonna let's get that out the way.
Rod don't like that. He going to Frisco.
Oh, he going. I already know. We can say whatever we want. Rod going. We know. Anyway, man, I appreciate you fellas, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir. BJ, come back and holler at us, man.
Yeah, man, I'll be back.
For sure.
All right, family.
All right.
You are looking live at
The Dub is 3, 2. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. 3 get ready, 4 to let go. Talking that talk, it's all that we don't. It's football time, we ready to roll. We bringing the coaches close to the fans. Answering questions now from the stands. D1 players with offers in hand. From DF Dubs, the best of the land. Hey, 6 be coming to play like 8. 5 be coming to play like 8. 4 and 3 be coming like 8. Private schools be making it 8. Cool in the game, Bad and Brian doing our thing. Weird and Jeremy ready to